Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So, who would like to recount what happened last time? And a little bit of what happened in Text RP. Of course, that would require that you've all been reading each other's Text RPs.
Nope.
You've been doing that, right?
Nope.
That's spoilers.
You've been doing that, right?
Those are spoilers, sir.
There's a private server
I
for
have.
each of you. Those
Oh.
are spoilers. That's why they're invisible.
I mean, I get
No.
Fine, I'll do it again, even though I wasn't really up to it. I'll do it if everyone's like, nah, I don't want to, because I wasn't bothered reading.
I don't remember
Bro,
what
make
happened
Silas
last
do
session.
I'll do it this time. Because, you know, as the person who had to run multiple Text RPs at once, I actually know what happened on every.
We have integrity and don't look at the other ones.
There's private ones and public ones for a reason.
Sorry, I didn't hear you over all that copium.
New medicine has been added to the medicine sheet that is anti-copium, forcing you to have some. Anyway. It's called stressium.
Stressium.
We're gonna use the Stressium Z.
I literally almost said Stressium Z. Okay, yep. Okay. Sharing the brain cell today. Good job.
Okay. Oh, that's not good.
That's a bad sign already.
So, last session, and the actual session, you guys all went out on doing your own respective things, and some other humans are now in on the loop.
Indeed.
What could go wrong?
Some.
As you brought them home, and Hawthorne had to sit there with his face in his hands for a minute before deciding to roll with it, and quickly isolated the humans to explain to them what's going on.
We're playing
This caused some of them to have a existential crisis, and it caused others to start sharpening their butcher knife. So, then we did some text RP because some things got in the way last session. Wherein, Ram dragged Eri away to go have a talk with some of the mini Pokemon downstairs and introduce themselves. Marcus hung out with the emotional support turtle. Talked a little bit, and they discussed a number of things.
Sorry.
Wherein Marcus had momentary amnesia for, like, critical information, but we'll glance over that. And they went to go introduce themselves to Jur, who was sitting in a group of multiple Pokemon that included Hope. Titania went over and talked to Kiki and Hestus about the whole human thing, and hey, do you guys hate me now?
Yes.
I mean,
Just
And
a
they
little.
were, and they were basically like, well, the only reason we didn't put two and two together is because we didn't think it was possible. Now, in retrospect, it's kind of obvious. Marcus also did indeed say hi to Gigan. And they talked a little about some private things. Mostly they were curious what it was like to go from human to Pokemon. Because really, both humans looking in on Pokemon and Pokemon looking in on humans could only really see it through each other through a window, really. But you guys are the only ones that have really been on both sides of the fence enough to give an accurate assessment, really, of what it's like to be one or the other. And that's what Titania discussed. Ram and Eri mainly went around talking to people. Eri did break off for a minute to talk to Percy. Fellow birds.
Bird.
In which some things were discussed and a request was made. Which got a "I'm not doing anything else" shrug from the big bird.
A good bird.
Ram also went off to talk with Soul and Oracle about learning more about being a psychic type.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, right, you used to be human. You really don't have any fucking idea what you're doing, do you?"
I mean, he also doesn't have a parent that can teach him psychic stuff, so...
So you were formerly human and adopted? Ooh. Smalls was, you don't know what Smalls was up to, because you never check on Smalls, despite how much you seem to worry about them.
I just
think
don't
Probably
want him to
blowing up a
blow up a
building.
Yep.
Hope was in the group that had Kinsey, Deva, Pearl, Jur, and I believe, yes, Adwale. Some jokes were shared between Ram and Adwale that made Hestes choke on their water. Twice.
Were they really jokes?
I don't think they were, and that's why she was choking.
He's just trying to be cool, okay? Ram just wants to be a bro. It's fine.
While internally he's screaming.
Probably. That's actually pretty accurate.
You see all the psychic types around you wince a little because it never shuts up.
Yeah.
Like having a radio on that's not on any particular frequency.
So accurate.
Rocket infiltrated the building.
Oh, what?
Oh, no.
What?
Sorry, never mind.
Uh-huh, okay. Murder Dog is in the house. It's fine. Everything's fine.
In the house.
And the group talked amongst each other a little bit. Eri and Ram had a little heart-to-heart, and Ram's like, "You're not actually dying, right?" And Ariel's like, no, I'm not dying. Oh, so you're just leaving forever then? No, what's wrong with you?
What is wrong with them?
She's so dramatic, though.
Fuck you, she has a reason to be dramatic.
I need to go train to become the ultimate warrior because I am a worthless use of oxygen right now. Who can't do
Alright,
anything?
well, when you say it like that,
And did I forget to cover anything? Not
He's
really.
angry. But Ram gave Ree flowers, and Ree is angry. He's like, "I'll take your flowers then." With rats.
Yeah, I ruined
Yeah,
special moment.
We
It's fine.
we stole psychedelic flowers from the greenhouse.
And apparently Kinsey is the one who mainly does the greenhouse. So you stole psychedelic flowers from Kinsey.
I made sure that that we didn't just destroy one of the flower thingies. So they are gonna regrow.
and two bros smoking weed with their swords out.
Kinsey just channels their Hisuian version and does death by 1,000 cuts.
Nah.
or whatever the move's called.
Ceaseless Edge.
Yes,
Even more edgy.
like
Somehow.
they really couldn't make it any more edgy.
Yeah, they
I
made
mean,
him
people
look
played that
edgy
shit up.
and also gave him a move that's edgy.
The animations for the signature move are really good, though.
Yeah, you know, in retrospect, Ceaseless Edge functionally does the same as what Bleed does, so I might just make it Bleed in mine.
No. Okay. And yeah, that's literally like what half of the signature moves do.
Yeah, I'm noticing a little bit of that.
It's like, ooh, Stone Axe. It does a little bit of damage over time. Ceaseless Edge, it does a little bit of damage over time. Interesting.
Curious.
I mean, they removed so many fucking mechanics that they really don't have anything more left
Exactly.
to make moves interesting.
They added some things, and I am interested in getting some of them utilized.
Yep.
And I have been developing a new system.
You're
I know I make many systems already, but I'm adding another one.
Concerning.
I still think you're fucking insane. Just FYI.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little insane. You can blame Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I'm playing Game Freak.
Oh yeah, that is a good default. Anyway, you guys had your discussions on that night, met up, and it was already pretty late in the day. Things were winding down. The humans had already retired to absorb their the information that had been shared with them, and it was a proper powwow down under in the Pokemon Zone. And if I'm so bold to say so, it probably continued that kind of atmosphere until everyone did properly go to sleep, like Soul was waiting for on their pillow.
So that gives me I would like to ask a question real quick.
Shoot.
Since I wasn't able to do it, it's okay if I assume that I introduced myself to all of Ruin's team, or is it just Gigan and JR for now?
You introduced yourself to Jer Gigan, and you already know Colin, which would leave Percy.
So no.
We can say you introduced yourself, and Percy was a bit more casual than the others, but was still a little, aloof.
Suspicious.
You know,
What do you mean suspicious? I'm gonna kick your ass.
not suspicious, just aloof. You can tell that they're not as intense or invested as Jer.
Yeah, that's just the one thread I wanted to close. I'm sorry about that. Just
That is fine. You have met them all, and they have met you. Some of them believe you, some of them don't. The psychic types are really.
really.
Well, the thing is, when they know what to look for, it becomes a lot obvious.
So Percy's like the one that bleeds me the most, probably.
Percy's like, yeah, there's definitely something weird about you.
Anyways, that's just the thread I kind of want to tie up. So let's continue.
That's fine.
I wanted to make good on my offer for to have Smalls do what did I call it? Fuck. Pet therapy? Yes. I'm offering him if he wants to basically sleep with me in the pure sense of the word.
Okay.
You want to snuggle the spooter.
Yes.
Are you snuggling the spooter in the spooter whip?
Hopefully not.
Okay.
That doesn't seem comfortable because of all the Erskine hairs, but okay.
It's like a hammock, except a lot more clinky. And you're not allowed to leave.
Yeah. And it also gets really everywhere in my fur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Special anti-web soap
It's like rubbing fucking glue in your fur.
for the specialist spooter trainers out there, which do exist.
Mm-mm.
There's a trainer that has nothing but snakes. Of course, there's a trainer with nothing but spiders.
Yeah. I mean,
Indeed, so...
Spiders you haven't seen yet.
Does he want? Does he want? Because he said sure the last time that I proposed it.
For you, Titania, for you.
I mean, it's for him really, but yeah,
He will tolerate it.
he was alright.
He would have said no to other people.
Nice.
Fuck you.
And it's mostly because, he's trying not to be despised. Nobody likes me. I make one pipe bomb and lie about being experimented on, and all of a sudden I'm the most suspicious thing in the universe.
Hey, I still like him.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's helped me, so...
I'm glad you believe in me. Here's a
I'm
complimentary
the
bomb.
only one who gives a benefit of the doubt, just because he makes a fucking pipe bomb, and I think that's awesome.
You would.
Looks
They
over
get
at
him to
Eri.
teach me how.
Looks over at Eri, who's making drugs. Looks over at Marcus, who's making deadly weapons. Looks over at Ram for undisclosed.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, you got a meth lab? That's awesome, dude.
Anyway, the night passes and morning starts to come over the horizon. Although there's only a few slits, basement windows, basically towards the top of the walls that allow natural light in. Most of the light comes from a special, more natural light-emitting lamps on the ceiling, which are dark. So enough light flitters in that the room is no longer shrouded in darkness, but is shrouded in a dim light, just as if you were sleeping in your bedroom and all your windows are covered with your window blinds. You poke your head out from under your pillow and crack a agitated red eye at the light creeping in from the windowsill. But night passes, morning comes, and most Pokemon are taking the time to sleep in, because not a lot of them get the chance.
Well, I'm gonna get up, because I'm like the one that's like not a part of the main group, and I'm like keeping my distance. I wake up with the particular need for caffeine. I wake up.
There they are. The Legion.
You start to brew some coffee, and 5 heads immediately shoot up. Among them, Ram.
Like, is there a coffee machine down here?
No, absolutely not.
Good, because I'm just gonna go upstairs and just like start brewing coffee because I'm
You
like,
all hear a ding as a machine comes out of the wall and fills a giant pool of coffee.
that is
Two snakes now. No, two spiders.
Snakes, you.
Two spiders. Sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Oh, Hawthorne didn't tell you about their 7th member, a Ditto?
Aw, yeah, of course.
Well, the thing about them is you usually never see them in the same room as whoever they're copying, so you never know for sure.
Choose your favorite one, Silas. The favorite Chuck. Goodbye. See you in Brazil. You survived.
Oh boy. Oh, Eri, what happened to you? You're a white square now. No,
What?
she looks fine to me.
not for me.
Looks fine to me too.
Well,
That's a you problem.
shit.
Hmm.
Well, shit.
That one.
Ah, still a cube. Still a white cube.
That's on you.
That's probably a loading problem on your end. Maybe reload the game.
Yeah, next, I need to fucking close everything and reopen whatever. I know that the white cube is airy, no worries.
Okay.
You get up, Marcus. The big figure you are. Stretch a little. There's a few resounding cracks. And you head upstairs lazily to the kitchen.
And I start making some damn coffee for a bunch of people. For anyone, try to make enough for anyone who's interested in coffee, like the group, including the group, the humans, maybe a few cups for like the others down there if you're interested.
Boil some
So-
water too, please.
You see Rowan already in the kitchen. And he seems to be making something himself, not with a machine.
And I'm going to, and God tells me that I should boil some water, so I'm gonna boil some water.
No, it's just for the tea.
Your ARC phone starts beeping.
Tell the Pokemon.
Hawthorne, Aya, and Reeve are not in the kitchen yet, but as you stand there and start to prepare the coffee, you are joined by one familiar face.
Yes. This.
Good
All right.
morning. I say.
Also, I never noticed the tiny teeth on the fucking on Estes 3D thing.
The what?
Just the tiny teeth.
The what?
Her fangs.
Oh,
Dang.
Okay,
tiny
okay.
teeth. That's what you were saying.
Oh yeah, that's what you were. Oh my god. Yeah, no, All right, you know.
Anyway, they look kind of dead on their feet, like a reflection of you, that being someone who cannot function without their coffee.
So essentially, we're just looking at each other with like,
Neither of
Nope.
you have the necessary energy or patience to conduct conversation.
I do say good morning, and I say nothing else if he doesn't say anything.
She says, "Good morning," back, robotically, and says nothing more.
And when the coffee is about done, I pour myself a cup and start fixing myself one.
When the water boiler starts whistling, I'll probably wake up too.
Titania,
Yeah, it's a pile.
who else was? Yeah. I finally found it. After years of searching.
It's from like Zelda.
It does have that Zelda-like.
It feels like one of the DS Zeldas.
It does have a Zelda feel to it. I'm not gonna lie with that
You're
one.
correct, but I'll reveal where it's from later.
It's Spirit Tracks.
It's not retro enough.
Damn.
Although Spirit Track slaps. Okay.
Oh, I have an important question.
Ye-
Am I inside of Fiona's shell or Leilani's shell?
Yes, you're inside Fiona's shell. Turns
Yep.
out that her chest is hollow. She picked you up and shoved you inside.
It's fine.
No,
It's fine.
Oh,
Everything's
God.
fine.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Everything's
like
fine
Edgar.
here.
It's the FNAF floor.
it's out on Afton. No.
She wasn't always a rodent.
Oh. Well, now if you say it like, no, I don't need to think about that. All right.
She's made from the soul of children. Don't worry about it.
Hawthorne fawns over her so much because she's actually his daughter that was murdered.
In a crazy science experiment that no one ever foresaw happening.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Further evidence that Hawthorne might be psycho. And he's just really good at not revealing it.
It's fine.
No.
You do not. Because you were in a different pile. That is to say that you and Titinia wake up, along with Ari, who was dragged into it involuntarily, but didn't really.
Ah, come on, everyone is soft in this pile, even Adwale.
With the Pix's Selkie Smalls, who was dragged in by Titania, Ari, who was dragged in by Ram, Hope, and Edwale, because he's chill like that. While the other two went off to sit in a corner to sleep, because they're edgy like that.
Of course.
Yep, sleeping in a corner. Yep, Marcus is disappointed. So.
Kinsey had the top left, Jur had the top right, Marcus had the bottom right. The last one was taken up by Gigan because they're just massive, so they required it.
All of the corners are taken. Oh no.
We're out of corners down here. But Titania, Ram, Ari, this is what you wake up to.
Ah, yes. Waking up in a pile of fluff. Like the old times.
Yeah, feels just like home.
It's not pink enough.
Yeah,
It's not pink enough.
When you say that, you hear Edwale snort, but they're still just laying there with their eyes closed.
Ram bops him on the head with his tail.
He cracks his eye open at you.
Ram looks away like he didn't do anything.
You're a fucking dog person, aren't you?
He rolls his eyes and closes it again. Titania, the Pixes are snuggled up to you in particular.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's two pixels in a scooter.
It would seem that Deva has kind of dug their way underneath the spooter to get closer to you and push them further away.
Poor Spooder. Well, I mean, I am gonna be petting all three of them until I hear the water boiler whistling.
You all notice that Marcus isn't here.
Mm-hmm.
The lad is easy to spot.
I assume that somebody at some point is gonna make tea.
He's going to smoke weed.
I am going to
That's not impossible.
wait until that happens.
Does Ram smell food yet?
Or that, yeah, there might be also smell of food.
You probably smell coffee.
When that thought enters your head, you test the air.
Mhm.
And you faintly sniff something.
Is it weed?
Almost kind of robotically, around this time, you see that Gigan, who's laying next to a gigantic steel shell, Jur, and Percy, and Colin all seem to wake up almost around the same time on the dot.
Mhm. I mean,
They all kind of slowly rise and stretch a little before they all start to head upstairs. And their activity wakes most of the others up, although they're not nearly as fast on their feet.
Mm-mm. Understandable. I'm pretty sure that Giga is not silent.
There's some vibration.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How the fuck does he even fit in here?
It's a big hallway. It's an accommodating place.
Papa Big Bucks.
Yeah, okay.
He activates the giant truck level forklift on the sidewall.
Yeah, he has a loading bay just for the big Pokemon.
Happens when Whaler tries to get in here.
Marcus, upstairs. Those four kind of filter into the room, although it's obvious Gigan is having a very hard time maneuvering. Rowan kind of notices and frowns. And shakes around the things he's cooking for a moment to quickly turn on his heel and walk over to Gigan, pat him on the side, and recall him to his Pokeball before he starts to head outside.
I sip my coffee and say, no one. Colin was right. He really did change a lot.
So, I'm presuming Ram and Titania and the others kind of filter upstairs at the smell of food, and coffee, and tea.
And
Yeah. Wait, how does the Brion is a seal, right? Do they just have to like drag themselves
they
over
hop.
to the fucking?
It depends. Like,
Oh, of course.
she might like bounce or just drag herself on the ground.
Bloop, bloop.
Yeah,
They do drag. They do the flop when they need to be faster. And when they need maximum speed, they blow a bubble around themselves in the hamster ball.
Hamster ball, nice.
Because-
That's the exact gift that I had in mind.
Because bubbles are Brion's specialty.
Nice.
Huh.
We see them doing shit like that all the time, actually, in the anime. It's bubble prison time for you.
Why is that guy in the GIF pull a gun on the? Alright, you know what?
So, filtering upstairs, Titania gets her tea, Ram gets his coffee. Ram does unholy things to the coffee.
Mostly sugar with some coffee.
Like,
Yeah.
I put some sugar in mine, but I'm not like putting like enough that to give me a diabetic coma.
Oh no, this would give you diabetes.
Where's the mayo?
Damn it!
No, I'm not
Uh,
that insane. I'm not that insane.
Eri chugs the entire bottle of mayo. She eats the bottle afterward.
Delicious.
It was glass and it crunches.
She doesn't
Hey.
seem to care.
Hey man, you know, internal bleeding is fine. That's where the blood's supposed to be.
Rock beat glass.
I'm going to see that, and I'm going
don't
to
think
retreat
that's
to the
true.
living room and sit down and be like, too early in the morning for this.
Eri goes upstairs. Do you get tea or coffee or whatever?
No, I get the mayo.
Oh
Nope.
god. Why the
Okay,
mayo?
I'm going to let you do a thought experiment or whatever happens over there, and I ask that you not involve us.
Okay. Alright. I can do that.
The other Pokemon wake up and start to distribute themselves among the household. Rowan let Gigan out outside, where he has room to maneuver. Return to cooking, where he specifically is preparing what looks like a Pokemon-specific stir-fry.
Nice.
Ooh,
Oh, there's Pokemon that. Let's go.
There's Pokemon in it, yeah.
Yo, we put fucking Marcus the stir fry. Let's go.
They pick up Brion by the neck
Hilarious.
and pull out their club.
oh no.
Oh no,
Oh,
see,
no.
a sludge is better. They got better that way.
But the morning proceeds. Hawthorne comes in from his lab area, having also been an early riser, just not being in the living room. And eventually Aya and Reeve emerge from their room in the back. Looking a little drained. Emotionally.
Emotional, okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm emotional. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Clarification was
Yep.
needed.
Yep.
I was about to make a dirty joke.
No, yep. I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm glad
Uh-huh.
our
We
brains
were
are
all on the same page
wavelength.
there.
Yep.
All on the same page. We're sharing the brain
Yep.
cell.
I shall neither confirm nor deny.
Shall nether?
Neither.
Mm,
Your nethers or no? Okay, you know what?
And muted. Anyway. Let me just make generalized groups.
I would never hang out with Muffin. This is fake news.
You're right.
Wait,
You're right,
no,
though.
actually, no, wait, no, actually, that's a really nice mental image. Put it back. Alright, thank you.
All right, for accuracy, I got to do this.
Okay.
Yes, I get the EV too. I get to sip while petting for Pokemon.
You fucking hog.
Okay, only 3 Pokemon then.
So, the day begins as normal. At least, what you can assume is normal for this household. Only there's 3 extra humans and like 18 more Pokemon than usual. And the house is starting to feel it.
Everything is full.
And I'm forcing Ari to socialize.
Socialize. Yeah.
I don't think anyone would want to socialize with Ari with what she's doing. But,
They approach you and then see what's happening and then slowly back away.
Yeah.
Thanks to the mayor.
You got a fucking problem.
But while that is happening, the main individuals all happen to be together as Hestus drinks their coffee. As Marcus is enjoying phone again. When Hawthorne walks over.
I wave at him.
I pause my video and wave to him,
I look up from my mail.
and I give Ari a judging look.
I give him a judging look back.
Good morning. I assume you slept well in abundant company.
Nods.
I'm nodding vigorously.
I pause my video, close the application for a moment, and type in a search bar for Pokier and say, "Could have been worse."
Well, everything is set and prepared, and, well, he kind of gives you guys a more serious look. It's time.
Oh. And I look at Hope.
Hope's ears flatten a little.
I'm going to reach out for Hope and rub his head, and, like, try to comfort him a little bit.
Yup. Same.
He gets head pats from 2 different directions.
Yep.
Hey man, if it makes you feel better, you survived the surgery of getting it removed.
He gives you this deadpan look.
Ram is looking at Ari like, oh, okay, yep, that's Ari. Okay, she's fine. Ram is hugging Hope. Everything's gonna be fine. It's
Hey
gonna be
man,
fine.
I'm just saying his chances are pretty good.
I open up YouTube again before playing.
It's not
the video, I say to
100.
Hope, good luck there, little buddy. You'll need it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just tell him he'll need it?
It just.
This is
he
a
said,
low.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you won't really need it. Like, it's literally just gonna go fine. Nothing,
It's just
nothing
it's
will
a
ever go
habit,
wrong.
so don't think nothing of it.
Like,
And I start-
look at that man. Look at that man and his beautiful mustache. Do you think he could fuck up?
well, no.
Yeah,
so that-
exactly.
Hope looks over at Hawthorne,
talking.
who has been watching the four Pokemon animately discuss things with Hope, who has sat silently, and which he understood none of.
I mean, it's not like it can be utter but silent. I mean, we give up hope at some
Oh,
point.
we
Nope.
give up all hope.
Ram grabs Hope and looks at Hawthorne expectantly, like, "Let's go. I got him."
Mm-hmm. I got
Child
it.
obtained.
He nods as Hope does not resist being picked up, and he gestures for you to follow him into the lab area. Some eyes follow you as you go.
I sip my coffee while I watch more YouTube and like.
Uh,
I look towards Aya. Yeah.
Aya comes up to Hope, to you and Hope Ram,
Uh-huh.
and scritches Hope on the head. Smiles reassuringly. It'll be over before you know it. Everything will be just fine.
Yep. He's not gonna feel it. Either wakes up or he doesn't.
I say under my breath.
Ari just goes, it'll be fine, and if it isn't, I'll kill Hawthorne myself.
I say to Hope once more. You'll be gone one moment, and suddenly I snap my fingers.
Yeah.
And like that, 2 weeks have passed.
Hopefully you'll feel much better when it's over.
Mhm.
You've been a brave little Eevee, dealing with it as long as you have. She frowns a little. You really should have told someone. And Eevee and Hope frowns back at them. But she smiles and pats him on the head. And gives him a little hug, which includes Ram.
Mm.
And then takes a step back and puts her hands behind her back. Hawthorne, waiting, nods and continues.
Really like to imagine they're just like Ram surfing on Hawthorne's base.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
Ram's gonna float after him.
Is anyone going to accompany Ram and Hope?
No, not really. I'm more focused on Aya right now.
Nah,
Keep
they've
focused
got
on you
this.
All right. So Ram,
Mm-hmm.
Hawthorne leads you into his lab, and he pats the top of one of the more medical-oriented beds. Place them down here for now.
Ram's
get
gonna
the
set
old-
him down and do head pats, scratches, rubs, face smushes.
And and when you put Hope down, they have the "I'm sitting on the medical bed. Oh God, this is happening" kind of moment.
Ram looks at
Like-
Hope like it's
like-
fine.
Like when you lay down on the actual surgery bed, you're like, "Oh no."
Ram looks at Hope and says, "I'll be checking up and making sure that everything's going fine. If anything looks slightly sketchy, I will blow this entire place up after I rescue you."
Hope has a conflicted look on their face. As Hawthorne comes over with a device that looks a lot like the injector that you found for Kindle.
Ooh.
Did we ever saw that injector?
I don't think you did. Shit. So okay.
We Googled it, didn't we?
Yeah, you Googled it. As he walks up next to Hope and like runs his hand down Hope's back reassuringly
And then stabs him in the back.
before he puts it against. He kind of gently grabs hold of Hope and has them stretch out their neck a little bit, where he puts the device next to Hope's neck. And you notice that the end of it doesn't have a needle. Ram. And you both hear a little sound before Hawthorne retracts it. And Hope blinks, looking a little confused. As Hawthorne walks away.
Wow, great doctor.
You are
see,
there.
You see Hope blink a little confused again, and you see their eyes slowly start to droop as they shake their heads slowly.
Ram is sitting next to Hope and just petting his head like, okay, you're going to start falling asleep now, buddy. It's okay.
Wake me in the next world.
Ram is trying to hum a Titania song, but it is probably off key.
Hope gets a very nervous expression as they hold out one of their little paws towards you.
I take the paw.
And they grip yours back. As you see them kind of slowly start to droop and their eyes get a kind of distant expression. Before their head clonks over and you feel the grip in your paw loosen and then go slack.
Ram is frowning and gently sets Hope down, like sets him positioned correctly and not like he's a dead corpse.
But he has gone totally limp. As Hawthorne was watching with his hands in his coat nearby. As he walks up with a little device and sweeps it over Ram and Hope, just because Ram's right next to them for a moment, and looks at some of the things that show up on it before he nods. And glancing at Ram, he gently picks up Hope. As he walks over to that really big machine with him.
Ram floats anxiously after.
Hawthorne clicks a button and there's a loud hiss as the machine opens up to what looks similar to the pods that everyone was in, particularly your friends, but a little bit more complicated. As Hawthorne places them inside and grabs up towards the top and pulls a little mask over Hope's face. As he attaches it securely and double checks it before he steps back, as both you and him look at Hope lying limply inside the vessel. And Hawthorne clicks another button, and it slowly retracts and whirs and locks as you lose all sight of Hope, as they are now inside the machine.
Ram is standing on the ground, just kind of like staring at the machine and kind of like not slumps over, but like kind of leans over into Hawthorne and just like, I don't like this. I don't like this.
He frowns as he looks down at Ram and pats Ram on the head. He'll be fine. It's more traumatizing for us than him.
Ram's like, yeah, he was not happy. I'm not sure about that one. Ram shakes his head and just kind of checks the machine if he can to see if things look good.
You've
He
never
has no idea.
You've never seen a machine like this, but you can tell it's definitely cutting edge for whatever it is. You can roll me clever technology. Or was it clever science? Keep forgetting if I made technology a thing.
I don't think technology.
No,
Oh,
it's
crap.
science.
That just lagged for me. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, just roll me dice to see if there's a kill switch on the side of it.
It's not working now? Yeah. the roll buttons are fucked again.
Hold on, yeah, the board is fixed, guys.
Is it just me, or is it working for other people?
It's
It's just me.
yeah.
Yep, just
It's
me.
not working for me either.
Let me
Why does it
see.
work for me, lol.
Oh,
Holy shit! Oh, they have all. Okay.
okay, hold on. Not that, sorry. Got a little crazy.
Alrighty then.
Let's see.
If
Let's
he
see if it works again
roll.
now.
1,
Let's
2, 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. There we go. One success.
You do not recognize this machine.
I know jack shit. Ram's gonna nod knowingly, like he knows what's going on.
Fucking,
Duh.
another kind of copium.
Yes, it
Although
is
I'm
pretty
fine.
it is pretty reminiscent of the ones in the Eden Project, I know.
Ram just nods. Uh-huh. Yep. No idea what's going on. He's just like looking around like, this is above my pay grade.
He'll pat Ram one more time before he goes and sits down on a console next to the machine. I'll be here. Oh, and tell Ari that I'm going to come talk to her in a minute. I just want to run the final checks before I start the process.
Ram nods and writes, like, pulls out a stolen notebook and writes in it real quick. Let me know if anything changes or anything, needs to be done. And then flies off to go get his super sugar coffee because he needs to pick me up.
So I can fix him, but it would require me to turn him into a her. You think they would be okay with...
Not medical proxy.
Hey,
Looks at Ari.
What?
Yep, you're the medical proxy now. I don't make decisions.
What? Shit, bro, go for it.
And this is mine.
No.
Bye.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Alright, he's dead. Do we start divvying up his... Did we give him any items that we need to take?
His silk scarf lies abandoned.
Yeah, it's inside of the oven right now.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Are
be
you
fused
gonna
with it when it
season him
comes out.
afterwards, or...?
Ram, as you float back into the living room, leaving Hawthorne alone back there, you have Hope's scarf in your little paws.
Oh.
That continue to smell like Hope.
Oh no.
Ram puts scarf on. I literally have... It's not going to benefit me whatsoever. I have 0 normal moves. Besides the
That's
Lucky
symbolic.
Chant, but I'm still symbolically wearing this
That's symbolic.
silk scarf.
Ram returns alone.
So, how'd it go?
Ram is making coffee. It's mostly sugar. He just kind of like glances over, like, everything's fine. Hawthorne wants to talk to you or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Mostly sugar. Just more sugar. More sugar. More sugar. Tastes
I
it.
frowns at Ram.
Not enough sugar. Puts more sugar in.
Are you? Never mind.
If she's been standing there for this whole time, I'm going to pause my video, type in the search bar, and slide the Pokegear over with the message that's typed in the search bar, direct the message to her. It reads, "May I have your number?"
She
Oh,
looks
lady.
down. She looks down at him and looks over at Marcus and blinks. Just like, well, that's rather forward. But sure. She types in her number and passes it back to you.
I put it in my phone and give her a thumbs up.
Nice.
Kind of goes over to Titania and whispers, "Yeah, do you have like that light magic or something
Hmm?
that could? I don't know."
What-
She kind of just like gestures over towards Ram, like,
What what should I do with the light magic?
Abracadabra, depression be gone.
Yeah.
The target's heart is filled with a righteous, empowering light that banishes fear.
Yeah, but it's just gonna last for a few minutes. But I mean, I can try. I really don't think that it's gonna help any. If
Very
you don't
shrugs.
if you don't remove the source of the fear.
Does
Hey,
Ram hear
man.
any of this?
You've got big ears. And are you an alert boy? Let me check.
He is a pretty alert boy.
Yes, you hear.
Ram's just gonna like take a drink of his coffee and then look over and say, "I'm okay. I'm not gonna be totally okay until Hope is back, probably."
Yeah, it's understandable.
Oh, so that's a no on the light steroids. Okay.
I'm kind of worried too.
Yeah,
He's professional, so
I
Yeah.
trust
put
him
your
enough.
faith in him.
Ram's like, "Oh no, I think this is gonna be fine. Like that machine looked really advanced. Yeah, advanced.
You didn't know a thing it did you?
No, I didn't. No, not this time. Not a damn bit."
Makes sense.
I shrug and say, "Well, if there's nothing else that you'll need me for, I take the last swig of coffee and put it down. Well, we have some things that I would like to accomplish today."
Wait, before Marcus leaves, Ari just goes over to Rem and is like, "You sure you don't want anything from Marcus's weed stash?"
Ram
I regret to inform you I did not bring it.
takes a big drink of coffee. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Alright, sorry. Just thought of blunt would be real good about now.
Appreciated.
Slowly pans to all locked of several cabinets of locked medicine.
Oh man, are we still... Is this world still in that phase? Come on.
Yay, actual drugs.
Weed hasn't been legalized as a recreational drug yet.
They have better things than weed.
That's, you know what, actually, that
They
makes
told me
sense.
have like wax and shatter, so that's like
The world acknowledged that they can't stop the people from smoking weed, so they would make a better weed.
So
Interesting.
if no one's going to
One with
stop
less
me,
complications.
I'm going to get up, take my coffee cup to the sink or dishwasher. Well, I assume they have both, so I'm going to wash my cup out real good and put it in the dishwasher and say, "Well, if you need me, I'm going to attempt to hopefully learn something new today. Well, more like thought that, you know. You get what I mean. It's early morning, so fuck it.
Good
Break
luck,
a
Marcus.
leg.
And I'm going to find Ruin.
Ram
no one saw.
waves.
Rowan is not inside.
I mean, I did see him go outside, right?
Yes.
Then I head outside.
And that's where you find him along with all of his other Pokemon. Who seem to be stretching. Rowan, for his part, seems to be doing a little bit of morning exercise. He has slightly, he's only in his t-shirt and pants right now, and you acknowledge that he's as ripped as he's ever been.
Seeing this scene, I think to myself, open my new duffel bag, which, thanks guys,
No
I-
worries.
I take
I might take credit.
It's just so there's like a privacy fence around here, right? Around the yard, right?
It's less a fence and more of a wall.
So it's a privacy. That's even better. So I take out my steel sword, and I'm going to check for room in case I don't hit no one, and start some basic humus exercises.
He notices this and kind of grins to himself, but says nothing. Titania.
Mm-hmm.
Aya has gone to sit down on the couch where Reeve has joined her sitting next to them. And they're both enjoying tea, not coffee.
Yeah, no, I'm doing tea too. It's a bit more
And
healthy.
they seem to be talking quietly to each other and discussing things. Hestus has gone and hopped up next to Aya, where Deva and Pearl definitely seem to stick more to you.
Yeah. I am gonna send a message to Aya, telling her that if she wants to talk, if or when she wants to talk, she's gonna be more than happy to.
Ram is gonna float over in that general direction and just kind of not awkwardly, awkwardly, like close to them, but like on the other side of the room almost. He's gonna be sitting there floating with his coffee, staring at Reeve.
Aya pulls out her phone, looks down at the message, and her brow creases a little bit. And Reeve, as Aya is distracted, he becomes distracted as well, as his attention turns to you, floating across the room, drinking your coffee. As he drinks his tea and sits down, and you see his eyes narrow slightly as you two maintain eye contacts.
Ram smiles.
But give me insight channel.
7. Oh no, I broke everything.
What did you break?
I don't know. Everything froze for a second. It's fine.
Everything. You said it. Come on.
Yep, everything froze for a second again. Yep, everything's freezing.
Are you sure you're not having some RAM problems, or? Or graphic card problems?
Definitely having some RAM problems.
Yep, it's gonna be one of those days.
Here, everyone hold on to your butts as I will do something real quick that I meant to do at the beginning.
Yeah, reload the board. Oh, but if it's his PC stopping it, it's not the board's fault. Actually, the board was pretty stable for once. It seems like every 5 or 10 sessions or so, you need to fix shit.
Seems like every one session he has to fix shit.
There we go.
Ooh.
Well, Eri is still a square.
Hell
There.
yeah, I am.
There we go.
Yep, 1.
Wow.
I'm distracted.
You're having a bit of difficulty gauging Reeve.
Hey, to be fair, you're still thinking about Hope.
Yeah. I'm very distracted. Everything's fine.
You have a momentary flashback where you feel their paw go slack and fall out of yours.
I mean, that's so sad when they do it to a pet that you own. It's so fucking sad.
More sad when they do it permanently.
No, a fucking curse. But
Like now. He's not waking back up. Hawthorne eventually injecting poison in him as we speak.
This is
And he's gonna
this,
be like, oh no, the operation failed. What a
this
shame.
is merciful.
But yeah, Aya kind of glances over at you, Titania, and isn't really sure how to approach this. Inside empathy from Titania.
yes.
Ram is
Second,
gonna write in his book and say, "So how does your schedule look?" Question mark.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You give this the Reeve. He's going to look down at it,
That's a lot. 4 successes.
and he's going to look up at you. Well, it recently cleared up. Meanwhile, Titania, you get that you're feeling a little nervous about approaching the subject, and you sense that she's a little nervous about approaching the subject. It was she was kind of hoping that you'd initiate.
Well, if that's the vibe I get, I'm approaching her.
Aya is just a reincarnation of you.
Yeah. I am approaching her then.
Oh, you're approaching her?
Yes.
Yes.
I go sit down in front of her.
You go pick up one of the sofas and drag it over to sit down right in front of her in a very...
No, isn't she at the table?
Yes. They were on the couch, but there is a table.
I thought she was on the... no, then I sit next to her. I thought that she was at the table. I am dumb.
She is flanked by foxes.
Just flanked by foxes.
Estes kind of gives you this kind of awkward look. As Aya is kind of looking down at the ground when you sit next to her. Meanwhile, Eve and Ram are still maintaining eye contact.
Maintaining eye contact, yeah.
Ram is gonna write in the book, "So Z Crystal? Question mark. Training? Question mark."
Right. Well, let's just get this out of the way then. The whole time, huh?
Ram writes down in the notebook. Yeah.
Did you end up at our house at random, or did you specifically target us?
Oh, okay. Ram, at that point, Ram is going to go over, grab Reeves' ear, and then drag him somewhere and pull out the notebook.
I watches this happen as Kiki watches a little concerned.
Ram is scribbling furiously in this notebook, like, we didn't target you. You just happened to be nice people. We didn't even want you guys involved. That's why we didn't say anything then.
He frowns.
Ram writes in the notebook, how do you think it would feel suddenly being in a different body, not having access to anything you know, and suddenly someone tries to help you, but you don't want anything bad to happen to them? You try to GTFO, and hands it to him.
He sighs and kind of like rubs his face. I'd probably do the same damn thing. Look, I'm not exactly thrilled about it, but I get it. Rowan said some things when it was explained. And yeah, I can see where you might have been coming from. Sort of. It's not exactly something that I've been through. Matter of fact, I don't think it's anything most people, everyone goes through.
Ram is scribbling in the notebook, just as Reeve is talking, he's scratching things out and rewrites it, and then says, and then writes, we actually do have a really good opinion of you guys. I wouldn't have gone to anybody else to ask for help. I wanted to ask you. Like, I know you guys are good people.
His expression lightens up a little bit about that. As he looks up at you, Ram. Well, in for a poke. Yeah, it's just a lot to take in.
Ram writes down, you're telling me.
Also, if you ever get your bank account back, you owe me something.
I've well, how much? Ram writes, how much? Question mark.
You can see a look of frustration cross his face. I'd have to think about it.
Ram writes, Papa Big Bucks expense account.
Hawthorne?
Ram nods.
You've been taking... Oh, well, I guess you don't exactly... You've been just running around buying things?
Ram writes down, Ram writes down in the notebook, not until recently, but I plan to do a lot more of that. I like sugar now, a lot.
He kind of looks you up and down. Yeah, that must be a bit of a trip. Look, it's kind of hard to wrap my head around when I'm talking to ex-human, former human, human in transition.
Ram writes down former doctor. Thank you.
Doctor.
Doctorate, but yes. It's fine.
Yeah, Hawthorne told us that you were human, but he didn't tell us anything about you personally.
Oh, Ram would give... I don't know if we want to go through the whole thing now, but Ram would give him a basic rundown of who Ram is.
He raises his eyebrows as you write some of this down. Really? Well, there's some things I still want to look into. I have your word and I have Hawthorne's heard, but I still want to, find some of the pieces myself, if you know what I mean.
Ram looks very curious and tilts his head and says, about what?
Well, Hawthorne mentioned something about Sunstone and how that's where all of this happened, and I was going to look into it myself to basically correlate what he's been claiming.
Ram writes down, oh, so more danger.
I don't think I can step out of the pool now, can I?
Ram sighs. He writes down, you don't have to put yourself in more danger, though, either.
Well, I mean, you didn't have a choice, did you?
Exactly.
Look, it's just a lot to take in, and I'm a little salty about some far past interactions with this new information. I can see that you were having a little bit of fun, but I could not possibly imagine what you're going through. So, I can see and I can understand why you did the things you did, and that you're in a pretty tight spot. So, I'm not retracting my offer to help. But on one condition.
Ram nods.
You're going to be a little more honest from now on.
Ram writes down, yeah, that was the plan.
With me and Aya.
Ram writes down kind of cautiously, like, she's psychic.
I know.
Yeah, she's the coolest one of the two of you. Ram writes nothing. Ram nods.
Hawthorne did call them both freaks.
Yeah, Ram knows. Ram has suspicions. Will not ask.
He's an ice type.
So you want to learn how to use a Z move?
Ram writes down, and the spider too.
Galvantula. I could teach two at the same time. It doesn't really make much of a difference.
Ram does zoomies.
Well, calm down now. Let's not have too much sugar.
Yeah, Ram is,
li-
that is literally what Ram's doing.
At least you're having some fun with the situation.
Ram looks very down when he says that, and he says, writes down, not usually, actually. I'm trying.
He goes to pat you on the head, but then he hesitates, and he gets this really awkward look. And instead, his hand moves from going to pat you on the head to putting his hand on your shoulder, reassuringly. And he gives you a small smile before he gestures with his head to go back inside.
Ram writes down quickly, my name is Ramiel Hemlock. Nice to meet you. And hands it to Reeve and then offers a paw.
He takes it and shakes it. We'll call things even. I'll just forget about all the things that happened while I still thought you were a Pokemon.
Ram nods. Fury cackles maniacally in his brain.
But you ain't going to catch me with it anymore.
Ram frowns.
Now I'm on to you.
Ram is literally thinking, but really, can you stop me from doing it?
Reeve heads back inside.
Follows.
At the same time, Aya and Titania are kind of sitting next to each other.
I mean, I send her a message because it's just fastest way than just showing her the phone after every time. I might as well just send her a message.
Man, that's kind of despondent to see two awkward people sitting right next to each other, texting each other because they can't.
Yes, I'm thinking.
To be
the
fair,
same.
they can't understand each other, so
I know, but still a mental image.
And I write. The. Do you want to discuss about my offer before you knew who I was? I mean, what? And then she's like, what I was. she adds under it because she still doesn't know who I am.
I don't know. Somehow, knowing makes it seem different somehow.
Well, it's understandable. But the offer still stands. Even though I was a human, I am not anymore.
Me and Reeve talked about it a little, and we thought about it, about why you would, offer something like that, and we realized a few things. I'm still not so sure about it, but she kind of turns her head and looks at you directly. Are you sure?
I nod vigorously.
She looks away, and you see her get a slight grin on her face. You must really believe in me, huh?
I send her a message I think that the both of us can do greater things than if we were on our own.
She chuckles at that and kind of brushes some of the hair out of her face and looks a little sad for a moment. Well, I've never really felt like I totally belonged around other people either, so I guess we can relate on that one.
She chuckles and says, "Well," and sends another message. "Well, if you want to, I can tell you who I was. It's not gonna be pretty, but I can do it."
Her face gets a little bit more blank as you type that out, and she looks at you. I want to know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just... I mean, can't I just send her my... not my article, but do I have like a wiki page or something? like every barely famous person gets?
You do.
Like...
It's not totally comprehensive, but it is basically a summary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I send her that, and I'm like, you can search for more if you want, or ask me.
She opens it up and starts to scroll, and you can see her frown deepening a little bit the more she goes. And as she's getting closer to the bottom of the article, you can see her pale a little bit. And you can feel her arm kind of sneak around you. As she pulls you in close, nice. Side to side, as she continues to read.
Nice.
Hestus frowns a little. She's reading this and absorbing it, and obviously a little distraught by this information.
It's understandable. I didn't expect anything else.
And Reeve and Ram come back in and kind of see the two sitting together with Aya visibly a little unsettled by something that she's reading on her phone. As Ram, you could imagine that she's going through what you and Reeve kind of just went through, as Reeve looks a little concerned.
Yeah, Ram's gonna quickly write, I'll explain that later.
Do you italicize that at all?
Underline twice.
He gives you a look like,
She's a good person.
I think that would usually not require being pointed out.
Ram,
Wow.
his ears go down, and he just kind of like floats over to a wall and kind of like pounds his head lightly against it, like, oh, making it worse.
He looks at you concerned. Ari, you're watching all of this.
Huh. I'll, yeah, okay.
You hear few footfalls as you find Hawthorne standing next to you, watching on himself after having finished some last things with Hope and rejoined the group. I kind of saw this coming.
Ari starts clapping.
No screaming yet, so...
If you want, I can add screaming.
Thanks, but no thanks.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
He looks down at you, Ari. So, I got some news back. Our little plan is good to go.
Does Ari still have the notebook? Okay, you know what, convenient notebook? Where?
There's an entire box somewhere, and Ram has like 6 in his freaking bag.
He pauses.
Yeah, I know.
He pauses as you stand there a minute and you start looking around for something, and he immediately recognizes it. As he walks over to the Pokezon box on one of the kitchen counters, pulls out one of the kitchen knives and cuts the tape on it. It opens up, and inside you can see an entire box filled with notebooks. As he pulls out a fresh one and hands it to you.
Ari just shakes her head sadly. You poor thing. And she writes down in the book, give me a week.
He raises an eyebrow. The procedure should only take about 2. That's half the time.
Okay. Wait, 2 what?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Which is what Hawthorne theorized, give or take a day, that it would take to really work on Hope. So being delayed a week is having your time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm planning to stay there after the operation is done for a while anyway, so I feel like... I don't...
What prompted the change in plan?
Got a friend teaching me neat shit.
He raises his brow.
One of Reeves. Wait,
Ruin.
Rowan's. Sorry.
I
There's
see.
2 trainers. I cannot keep up.
I see. So, what of the other Pokemon have something you want to learn from,
Derry is nodding.
Well, I'll have to make him an excuse for the delay.
Derry just starts, like, dramatically coughing.
Well, you're the one who's important here, so if that's what you want, so be it. I'll make up some excuse that I had to keep you around a week longer. Maybe I could say you started stress molting and I had to make sure you were okay.
Not far from the truth, actually. She isn't writing in the book. She's just saying it.
Well, it's not as necessary now that we will not be acting on it as soon as I thought we were, but we do need to get this out of the way eventually. So, you see him pull his hand out of his pocket, and there's an Ultra Ball in it. Titania, Ram, you see this.
Well, I mean, we know.
Air just gives like a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm just looking over and I'm like, ah.
Ram writes in his notebook, do you have a luxury ball? Question mark.
Who?
Then shows it to Reeve.
Reeve looks at it and looks at you, kind of raises his eyebrow. I could get one.
Ram nods. Good.
He narrows his eyes. 1 second. I gotta get up for a moment.
There is just like, here's hoping it doesn't kill me, lads.
Oh, by the way, since he's going away, Titania is gonna ask Eri if she has a moment while in the ether of time.
I've got a busy schedule.
Look, since you're going away, but you're coming back, I wanted to ask, before I cannot ask you anymore because you're away and I would have to go through Hawthorne. I was thinking of starting some team building exercises, since we barely do anything together, except fighting.
Huh. That doesn't seem like a horrible idea.
Once...
Also, I mean, you could probably, you know, if you do want to talk to me, you could just like go to Fiona. I'm just saying. Apparently,
well,
she'll be. If you want to talk to me, you can just go to Fiona. I'll have a thing in my ear, you know, little gadget.
Yes, the phone. I think it says something about a phone in your ear. Yes.
Yeah. Fiona's gonna be my personal teleprompter.
I'm just asking you right now. It's easier.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I'm just saying. You guys should know.
Once we are back at the village, is it fine if I ask for Hawthorne to bring you back once a week, probably Fridays, to do these team building exercises?
I would want nothing more.
Okay. Plus, it's not good to have you gone for long periods of times without.
No, yeah, that does seem. I mean, granted, I will have something to focus on. That's for sure.
Well,
And focusing is what I do best.
Ram's
I'm a
just
little
crying.
Ari never dropped the bottle of mayo. She throws it at Ram.
Reeve goes to pat Ram's head again and hesitates again, and puts his hand on Ram's shoulder again.
Ram ignores weak attempted affection.
Do I head pat them? Would I head pat another adult male? No.
No.
maybe depends which way you swing.
Even that seems a little like I don't know.
not to a friend, but
Oh, I head pat
fucking
people,
collar
but
on
it's
him
not. It's
at that
really
point.
demeaning.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, the only excuse you should ever do that is if it's to a short person, because they deserve it.
no,
Because they deserve it.
if it's your child, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a short person, as I was saying.
Hawthorne waits for you to finish talking with Titania.
Aries, no,
Yeah.
Aries done talking with Titania. She moonwalks back towards Hawthorne for style points.
He leans down and gets on one knee just to be closer to your level on the ground. Short person, head pat.
Oh my god, he's proposing.
Fuck.
He's proposing, Ram says to Titania.
Aw, that's a little weird, but no.
And he doesn't hear any of this, so it doesn't get awkward for him. So he holds out the Pokeball. Now, I could just bop you in the head with this, but considering maybe you should be the one to make the motion.
Yeah, smack yourself into the head with it.
Does
Ram's
it have to be the head? Can I just, like, lick it?
You can touch it.
I'm just gonna punch it.
You get extra dramatic as you wind up a punch. And you hit it dead center, and there's a click. As you realize, no cone pack now.
Worth it.
As the Pokeball opened,
Remember my name.
and you get a strange sensation that's very familiar to when you fell into the crystal, except with less
Stench dread.
mind at aesthetic.
That too.
Mind static. As the rest of you see Aerie dematerialize and get zipped into the ball where it clicks shut and it starts to blink.
And there she goes.
Aerie, inside the ball, you find yourself floating in a sphere with all the walls around you being basically a softly glowing blue grid with darkness beyond it. And you're kind of floating in the center of this as from this grid, multiple tendrils of light extend from it and wrap themselves around you. As you feel something starting to happen.
It's a trade evolution. Nah.
At least on an instinctual level, all this energy kind of feels familiar to you. And the particularly from your time in the datascape. This feels similar, but not exactly the same. As you can feel that this energy is definitely doing something to you.
Oh,
But at
tendrils around me? I've seen this hentai before.
And you can sense the energy around you, and you are aware that if you really wanted to, you could try to fight the sensation.
I'm gonna fight it for like a second.
Okay, let me find the reverse math. I made the reverse math because ordinarily the Pokemon, the trainer rolls with the Pokeball against the Pokemon. But because you are the Pokemon, I reversed it mathematically. So it's more that the Pokemon resists the Pokeball because it makes it a roll that you're doing and therefore affectable. In case you wanted to will something or something.
Immersion.
So roll me.
I mean, we're not really trying to break out. I'm just like punching him once, but
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wants the Pokeball to shake a few
I
times.
just wanted to shake once.
Roll me 7 dice.
7 dice. All right, hold on. 7. Oh wow. 2.
Oh man.
Man.
Wow, wacky.
You resist it a little bit, and you can definitely feel that when you try to resist this, it tries to bind you stronger. And bind is the appropriate word, as you can feel this place trying to this place feels incomplete to you. Like it's to be perfectly honest, kind of a prison almost.
Well, I made the joke once. Not gonna do it again.
And you can still move, quote unquote, around in this Pokeball with your energy. But as it's binding you, you can feel basically your energy more restrained and having, quote, less wiggle room as the holes of this place start to get filled in, as it's attuning itself to you.
Alright. That's cool.
And everyone sees the ball shake one time. Not an immediate ding. Before you get a strange sensation as the binds disappear. From around you, and you feel like you can't really there's a great amount of resistance to trying to move around with your natural energy now. And slowly, like you before, you felt like you could force yourself out, right? But now it kind of feels like you're basically pinned.
Just kind of cross my arms and wait for the inevitable.
You do not feel yourself going insane, so that's a plus.
It's a plus. You're right.
As the grid around you kind of pulses a few times and starts to warp and gain definition, as shapes start to take place, and then those shapes gain an extra level of definition, followed by an extra level of texture, followed by color. As slowly, you find yourself with the sensation of feeling returning to you, as your senses, other than sight and hearing, come back. As you find yourself in a nest of sorts on top of a small rocky outcropping in the middle of what appears to be a jungle with tall trees, and you see a blue sky above you.
Oh.
Around, there are other rocks out and about, and the ground itself has virtually no underbrush other than the long trunks of tall trees, meaning that you can walk around and run around unimpeded.
Deja vu.
And you look around and you can move freely in this space. And that's when you feel the sense of oppression to your internal energy loosen just a little bit.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right.
Rape.
then we'll go to the others for a sec, as I was about to anyway. You guys, Ram and Titania, and Marcus isn't here to witness this. But the ball shakes once, and then dings and goes motionless as Hawthorne holds it up and examines it. Well, I guess that's over with.
Ram wants to fly over and boop the ball.
Boop the ball.
He will move it just barely out of Ram's reach with a small gesture as he looks over at you. She can let herself out when she's ready. I think we might want to let her get oriented a little.
Ram frowns intensely.
I let myself out immediately.
When you feel the energy loosen its grip on you a little bit, you push against it. And there is resistance, but there seems to be a break point where once you push hard enough, that resistance kind of disappears as the place breaks down a little bit as you force yourself off and you feel that same strange energized sensation as the ball kind of lights up and opens up again. As in a burst of energy, Aerie materializes again. And the ball clicks again. Or not. Well, like I said, she can let herself out.
How bad was it?
No, it was pretty cool. Felt weird for like a good 5 seconds. I punched the energy once just to see what would happen. It was funny, I think.
We just assumed you panicked.
Oh. Nah.
Oh. Okay, well, I don't care anymore. I mean, good luck. Pats on the head.
All right. Should I be offended?
Proud of you.
Hawthorne clicks the ball and it shrinks to a smaller size and puts it back into his coat pocket. Well, that's the official paperwork dealt with. As you were, he's going to turn around and head back to his lab.
Just walks away.
All right. Okie dokie.
I'm sure that once all this comes to light and Hawthorne's technology becomes more common knowledge, that there shall be a reform to the laws concerning Pokemon capture and care. But until then, you have my word that I shall not do anything suspect. Good day.
I'm sure you will.
Ram's like, he had to give a disclaimer. That's not a good sign.
I mean, if I trust him with a small child's life, I think I can trust him with mine. That would just be cowardly.
You can see that both Aya and Reeve look a little unsure. Unlike Hawthorne, they haven't had as long to ponder the moral implications.
Like Hawthorne would give a fuck.
And Hawthorne, as a man of science, didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I freely tamper with the genetics of Pokemon. I am playing
I'm
God.
breathing to my mic. Fuck me.
Yeah, we could all hear it.
Tell me that earlier.
I am already playing God.
I'm literally going to cry. Okay, you know what?
What's going on?
I didn't really notice it at all.
Apparently I was breathing into my mic and these two
Okay.
fucking boys were like, what the what? Actually, I don't even know how long I was doing it.
I just
You have no
quietly
idea
sent a
how long
message.
I didn't even notice because I have so much white noise in my life and in my brain.
That's fair. Okay. I'm gonna go find. Did I see where I totally saw where Marcus went. Yeah, I'm going after him. I need to see Rowan's little boys.
That would be an opportunity to go to Marcus as well. You head outside and you find all the Pokemon out here basically doing some wake-up exercise routines, although they're pretty much finishing up. And you see Marcus doing some sword forms that look slightly awkward for a Pokemon because they were sword forms for a person, a human with a different body structure, but he is adapting. And you can assume by the way he's moving that he most likely didn't make it up. I mean, you've seen him murder people with a sword, so apparently he does know some degree what it's doing with them.
Yeah.
Rowan is sitting down, drinking from a bottle, a thermos.
Interesting.
I see Ari enter. I sheath my sword and say,
Damn, look at you go. Sorry, what?
Yes, so you... What do you need?
Oh, where's that fucking... There you are!
I
Ari just, like, looks at... Is Percy looking in Ari's direction?
You see Percy come in for a landing. They were doing a little bit of a fly up above the place as they land with a bit of a dust cloud and a little bit of powdered snow. It's cold out here.
Ooh.
But none of these Pokemon really care, except for Jur. But an edgy man does not show pain and discomfort.
Wait, isn't Donphin... Oh no, you changed the typing. Of course you did. Sorry. Wait, no, but Rock is resistant to... Did you change Donphin from ground?
They are ground steel.
Ground steel. Fuck. No, yeah, because ground rock would be a horrible ass typing. No way.
Glances.
Fuckers.
But yes, you see Percy landing.
I just lock eyes with him.
Ari says hi, doesn't even mention what just happened to her. Runs over to the bird. He looks down at her. Morning.
Hey. It's, what's cracking? Yeah, I know this is awkward.
So what's up?
Oh, were you gonna yeah, we gonna do training? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now?
I mean, I don't know. I'm a punctual gal.
I
like to get stuff done.
Think she might be going somewhere soon, so you might want to get on that sooner than later.
Oh, we've postponed it for a bit. It's fine. But yeah, I do agree with the sooner rather than later sentence. Tell you I was going on vacation soon, yeah? Except, vacation, I mean going off to some... slam myself against a wall.
He looks at you.
I don't know, man. Rock type training. I just play with rocks. It's kind of weird when you think about it.
It's a little more complicated than that.
No, of course.
It's just you remind me a lot of the ace Pokemon that basically lived to fight sometimes.
Ari just looks at Percy just like, Nah, couldn't be me. Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
I just want to get better. What can I say?
Okay, very well. Come on, let's get started in the corner where I can just start to explain it.
Or just like fist pumps. Yes.
You do that
Percy
fun.
looks over at Rowan, and Rowan looks up over at Percy. The two share eye contact after a moment, and you see Rowan's eyebrow raise a fraction, and Percy shrug with their wings before Rowan kind of clenches his jaw a little bit before, with a hand, gives a waves them off.
Oh, right, psychic type. Ari flips Rowan a peace sign as she goes.
You see him have a kind of complicated expression.
That I want that. Yeah, you wish. No, but you're too busy getting Z crystal. Important for soul.
Seems you all are getting adapted to being a Pokemon pretty well.
Oh wait, is that Percy?
That was Rowan to
Or-
Marcus.
Oh no, that's Rowan. Okay.
I get out my Pokegear and type in mostly. And I type in. Don't tell me you've forgotten that I have won a human championship in my day, haven't you?
Yeah, but winning a HEMA championship isn't the same as being able to hit someone with a tsunami at will and flood the district.
I shake my head and say,
Or, punching someone so hard that they freeze, and then punch them again, they shatter.
the punching's more my MO.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of curious to see how much stronger you've gotten since becoming a Pokemon.
I think about it and say, would it surprise you that I know close combat?
Not at all. Knowing you, not at all.
I actually make that sound like I don't type. It's like, I type in what? You looking to test that or something?
He frowns for a minute. Maybe later.
I nod and
After I have had some time to absorb the fact that you're my brother still. I'll throw you in the ocean later.
I mean, he can
I
swim.
type in.
that's
You
no
know that won't
problem.
do shit, right? You know that won't do shit.
He grins at you. I don't know, some of the more advanced trainer classes nowadays are pretty cool.
What do you mean?
Well, trainers were expected to carry some of their own weight ever since the war.
Are you in? I mean, didn't Dad teach you how to fight?
What,
Hand
do
to
you
hand?
think? What do you think? I have these guns for show? He kind of flexes.
No.
You see him grin at you as he reaches down into his own bag. as you see basically 3 long metal bars of something attached to each other as he pulls it out. Each one is like a 1.5 feet long, and they're all 3 are parallel to each other. And with a flick, you see that they both, 2 of them open up in opposite directions and swing out to click into one long bar of metal. And he puts the end of it back into the bag and twists it. You hear another click as he pulls it out and hoists something heavy with some mass to it over his shoulder as he grins at you kind of confidently as he has some crazy looking sledgehammer over his shoulder.
My God.
I type in. Huh. No one. We're definitely related.
Kind of hard to quit the business entirely. Though I'm smithing more than metal nowadays.
With that, you can spit someone's face.
That's what I was implying.
Yeah.
I made it after Dad's. His is even crazier.
Where can I get me one of those?
Well, Viserians make their own weapons.
Make it yourself.
Well, yeah.
lol.
Granted, mine won't be a hammer. It would be a big fucking sword. It would be a big...
He kind of raises his eyebrow at that. Well, we don't have the forge back at home anymore. But maybe we could find another one. And get you something better than that improvised little knife you have.
Yeah, we have something.
I'll have you know this little knife, and I put that in quotation marks, is the mark of a civilization, once proud civilization.
Does that civilization exist anymore?
In some ways, actually quite yes. If you want me to get technical with it.
In some ways, I see.
So, since I have your full attention, I've been pondering something since last night because with what I've witnessed, you may need an open mind for this.
You see him immediately start to frown as he throws the sledgehammer off his shoulder and just lets it clunk down on the ground and lets go of it with its handle pointing up towards the sky. As he gives you this kind of serious look.
I type. As you can see, I point into the house and say, that Reed guy is just one of many who look at me like I'm like prime rib, the best cut prime rib in a supermarket, and
His frown deepens. Is that right?
And before that, I had to fight off some poachers which one of them was like, oh yeah, you'll make big bucks. And I'm like, to hell with you, and well, I'll cut the point.
Poachers?
Could you at least catch me, please?
He blinks.
For my security.
Oh, this has been a week of firsts. What, so no other Pokeballs would work on you or anything? I suppose that's one way to keep you in the family, quote unquote.
I'll be right back real quick.
Ram, You see Aya sit up a little straighter and then look over at Reeve. And Reeve immediately notices and looks at Aya and makes eye contact. And they stay that way for a second as a single bead of sweat appears on Reeve's forehead.
Ram writes in the notebook, "Oh God, you are psychic."
He looks down at that. He shakes his head, kind of scratches the back of his head. Well, not exactly. He kind of looks over at Aya as if asking for permission, and she nods after a moment as Reeve turns back to you. She's not a very strong psychic. She can give me feelings and emotions, but not like coherent words and stuff. It's just that, we've been living together a long time. So I can kind of, piece things together pretty well.
Let's make things in the bedroom quite easy.
It does make things an extra level of convenient when your significant other can just beam how they're feeling into your head.
Yeah. I can see how that would be helpful.
Makes sense.
It's made things more approachable. You feel her. You hear her snort.
Ram writes down, "Aya, send me brain message."
She looks at you, and you get this strange kind of displaced feeling of internal conflict. And insight empathy.
I have 1 empathy. Okay, so insight empathy. 4. One success. Excellent. Oh wait, do I add half logic to that?
For empathy? Well, for crafts, lore, medicine, science, clever alerts. No.
Okay.
You definitely feel a kind of displaced emotion inside your head that you're not entirely sure where it's coming from. Were it not for the fact that, you do know where it's coming from. But it kind of feels like an alien version of your own emotions. You can identify the feeling, but it doesn't feel quite right either.
Ram is gonna look like shocked, like jaw slack, like it's true.
And you're having a bit of difficulty kind of identifying and decoding the emotion. You can definitely sense that it's unease and internal conflict, but you can't really garner what that conflict is about or its subject.
Ram's gonna write down fuzzy, but yeah, I felt that.
Reeve nods. It gets easier to piece things together the more you know each other and the more you've done it. It's like speaking a new language for the first time. It gets smoother and easier the more you do it.
Ram nods slowly. Okay. Makes sense.
At this point, I don't even think words are really necessary between the two of us.
Ram writes down in his notebook, "Words are important, Reeve."
But feelings are transcendent.
Sage wisdom.
But yeah.
Is Locale here?
Hmm?
Okay. So Ram is gonna look over at Titania like, so feeling some conflicted emotions. I'm guessing you're telling her exactly what I just kind of told Reeve about me.
Yeah, I told her who I was.
Wiki page.
Yes, it's easier than
Ram face palms.
It's easier than hounding down whatever articles of me don't paint me as a psycho, you know?
Ram nods, but he's like, I mean, Aya's pretty realistic, I guess. Well, empathetic, I guess is a better word. She probably would have taken it better from you, but I understand.
Well,
She kind of looks over at you, Titania, as if waiting for you to finish your conversation.
and she's like, well, and then turns around to Aya. Because she's like, this isn't really have a better...
She turns She turns the wiki towards you and gives you kind of this concerned, guarded expression.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, how much of this is true?
I mean, I give a once over to the wiki too to make sure that I didn't add anything I didn't do.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had to get groceries in.
I've been there. We'll get back to you in just a second.
Yeah.
I meant Zer. We're doing this right now.
Ah, okay.
So, you give it a once over, and it definitely exaggerates on some parts. First of all, it never mentions anything about your parents, other than that they're your parents. They don't say anything about pressuring you into it, and they don't say much at all about when it mentions that you got sent to an asylum. It does not say that they were the ones that did it.
Mm-hmm. Well, then I add the context then.
It also says that you beat that person nearly to death without provocation.
Yes. She just chuckles and says, "Yeah, if you believe that harming a poor Pochiena is without provocation, then yeah."
It mentions that it implies that the decision to become a contest trainer was kind of not really... It was something you decided to do, right?
Yes.
It's kind of framed in a way where it wasn't really your choice, but more so the only thing you could do, really.
I mean, Titania would say, well, I had the choice to become a Pokemon trainer, but I didn't like to see my Pokemon getting hurt, so I just went for the contests. You know, same of the stuff that I studied my whole life, just in a different light.
And as you say this, you see her start to narrow her eyes at you. As you explain some of this, as you can see her starting to put some pieces together in her head.
And then I say, also, by the way, with the kid, if you want a better description of what happened, I can give it to you, but it's not really something I very much like to talk about.
You see her glance back at the article, at the section that's about an asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And she slowly tracks with her eyes over to Deva and Pearl. And you can see a puzzle piece kind of slide into place in her eyes. I see.
I mean, she scratches one of her ears and she's like, yeah, I mean, there were many Pokemons in shelter, and I didn't feel like taking Pokemons that could have done anything else. I wanted to help Pokemons that might have stayed in a shelter for their life.
She frowns and pulls you a little closer. You see her start to get a very strange expression. Can I ask you a strange question?
Sure, of course. What's
Your
stranger than...
your parents are your actual parents, right?
Yeah. They are just that kind of person that sees like how people see them as the nah, words come to me as the as what's most important. So you always need to be proper, you always need to be the best, you always need, like, that kind of person.
You see her frown a little deeper. I mean, they're your biological parents, right? You're sure about that?
I never questioned it. I am pretty sure that if I was adopted, they would have ditched me, and I would have been in prison instead of an asylum.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But hey, supposedly I have a Pokemon mom somewhere.
She turns her head to you, huh?
Well, supposedly I have been born from an egg, and supposedly that egg must have been laid by someone. And Ram saw his mother, or what he thinks was his Pokemon mother, so I guess that we must all have some kind of parents. Hopefully still alive, he adds.
She kind of blinks at that and looks over at Reeve, and he looks at her, confused. What? Kind of gestures for him to come over and turns the phone over as he reads it.
Yeah.
And his eyes widen a little. That's whack.
Ram nods.
True. I agree with this statement.
Do you know where they are?
Zero idea.
Do you... I guess that would be a Balin question.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Ram saw something, but I doubt he knows where.
She looks at Ram.
Yeah, and I look at Ram.
Ram just frowns and then writes, I think mine is with Dr. Balin, but I can't be sure.
Yeah. and she's like, yeah, would probably be that.
Well, Pokemon are just like humans, have two parents. You see her clench her jaw for a moment when she says that, before continuing. So, you saw your mom, where's your dad?
Ram shrugs.
Yep, deep shrug too.
Ram is tempted to write sperm donor, but does not.
Breeding stock.
Mew. It's just Mew. No, Ram writes Mew and then scribbles it out, but makes it so that Reeve can see him write Mew.
You see him narrow his eyes.
Ram does not respond.
She puts her hands in her lap. Well, none of that could have been easy.
Mhm.
All those expectations.
You tell me.
Feeling more like a thing than a person.
The only fun thing was working as an idol, even though it was stressing.
When she says that last sentence, Reeve gives her a very concerned and empathetic expression.
Mm.
Can I? Well, you've both shared a lot with me, so I think maybe I should tell you something too.
If you want to.
Well, I'm not exactly a normal person, and I'm not saying that because I'm psychically sensitive, although that has something to do with it.
Well,
She kind of brushes some of the hair out of her face and looks a little distraught.
mm.
I'm not well, I'm a clone of someone else.
Oh,
What?
what? Ram's just tilting his head very far sideways.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I don't text it. I just say it.
Is that illegal here?
My big sis wanted a little sister, and some. My parents are pretty decently up there. They're people working in a private industry, and well, they were approached by one of the people there that wanted to see if this psychic sensitivity was genetic. And, well, here I am.
Ram is gonna float over and like pat Aya on the back.
Don't get me wrong. My big sis and mom and dad are. Big sis especially is nice, and she really is my big sister. Mom and dad can be a little distracted with work sometimes, but well, people who knew didn't treat me the same way. So I can kind of get where you're coming from.
Mhm.
About being more of a thing than a person.
Well, I want to treat you different. It's strange, but it doesn't make you want. It doesn't make me want to treat you different.
Ram mumbles very quietly. I just want to figure out how the psychic thing works.
It's complicated. There's a lot of reasons and things as to why, I'm here, but I'd rather not talk about that too much. Just I wanted you to know.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for telling me.
Ram's gonna write in his notebook, "I'm glad we met, Aya."
Yeah, me too. Reeve has his hands in his pockets, and he seems a little reserved right now.
Oh, don't worry. Just wait after I ask her if we can make 100k in 2 weeks. Legally, I might add.
So she looks over. So I promise, if you're sure about this, that, you know, you're a person, not a thing.
Well, thank you. I knew you would think like that. That's why I wouldn't have asked anyone else.
Just give me a little bit. I want to find the right one for you.
What do you mean the right one for me?
She kind of grins and chuckles and pulls out a great ball. These aren't special enough.
Well, Titania says a friend ball is good enough for me.
She chuckles.
She smiles too. And
Hi guys, I'm back.
hello.
Ram squints
Hi.
at Reeve.
Welcome back.
Reeve squints at Ram and recalls previous conversation.
Ram looks away, still squinting.
He's starting to put together where this is going.
Hey, I'm trying to be subtle. Ease him into it.
Pulls out a great ball and smashes it into your bat.
Ram resists violently and writes furiously, "Luxury ball."
Luxury ball.
I will only tolerate the highest
Yes.
comfort.
And you get told, I'll change it when you make it worth it.
You know, that
Luxury-
does sound kind of like Reeve, so maybe that would be his response.
If you were a Pokemon, maybe. But there's still a bit of human Pokemon bias going on. It's just that you guys are outside the box. You're making everyone uncomfortable because of. It's like, am I biased? Is this what it takes to realize my own bias that I wasn't conscious of? Oh no. You know, now that I think about it, that guy over there is actually kind of smarter than I am. Shit. Why am I in control? Why are humans in control? Oh fuck.
Said every Alakazam ever.
Yeah. Why am I inside of a ball? Why is
I
not that guy?
I should put him in a ball.
The Great Alakazam Rebellion. The tear down the Great Alakazam.
I am gonna actually ask her jokingly if she thinks that the two of us together could make 100k in 2 weeks.
She looks off and frowns. That's a lot of Poke.
And Titania just chuckles.
We are in the main city, so I guess if there was a tournament going on right now, I suppose if we won the tournament, there is the prize pool. It's not usually that big, but then again, this is one of the capitals.
I mean, Titania says. Titania sends a message saying, Hawthorne can fit the rest.
I don't know if there's a contest going on right now. There usually is, but it's not something I checked when I came here. And then she kind of like looks off for a moment and blinks. Wait, you were a contest trainer, right?
Yup. She gets the message saying, yup.
She narrows her eyes. Is this cheating?
Philosophically, yes. Actually, rules, no.
Ram writes down in his notebook and says, "She trained me in hope," and then gives it to Aya and looks at her critically.
Yep.
Yeah, this is totally cheating. Yeah, we got this in the bag.
Titania nods vigorously. And then sends her a message. What do you think I meant when I said that both of us could be better than alone?
I mean, it would be interesting. And it could give Dava and Pearl a chance to get back with old times with you. Maybe a little different in the role, but that's not either of our faults. That's society.
Mm-hmm.
She shakes her fist a little.
I type a message at her. It would also be a good time for you to bond with them.
Yeah, you still want them to stay with me, right?
Yes.
You're gonna probably need to work on convincing them more than I.
Oh.
You're just worried about them being in danger, right?
Yes.
That might make it hard to convince them.
Yep.
They've hardly left your side since we showed up. I'm a little jealous.
Well, to be fair, I would have stuck by them even if they stuck by you.
Question though, what do you need 200k pokey for?
No, 100.
100? What do you need 100k pokey for?
Ram shakes his head furiously and like motions like 200.
I show her the picture that I took of the solar thingy.
She narrows her eyes at it, and her eyes open up wider. Whoa, they're selling this? That's so cool.
I nod profusely. and then I make a small fireball with my hand.
You see Hestus lean in and look at it. Their eyes shimmer a little when they see it.
Yep. It's good for both of us.
Reeve looks over, and he sees it, and he seems to have a bit of recognition on his face when he rubs his chin. Oh shit, one's for sale? I could use that for Jur. Then we should kick some serious ass.
I look towards Reeve and I'm like, no stealing.
But Ram quickly writes down like, "Stop, she kills people."
But
he scratches out kills.
But Adwali would be, he sees the kill and he claps his mouth shut. He glances over at Titania with a bead of sweat.
I don't kill anyone.
Scratches out kills, maim.
You smile up at him pleasantly as he glances over at Ian. She makes a gesture as if swinging a baseball bat.
No! Titania frowns deeply.
We're onto your bullshit, Titania.
Okay, I guess I'll have to find another one for Adwali. You see Adwali poke his head over the couch. That's twice I've heard my name.
That's what?
I've got my eye on you. He slinks down back over the edge.
Man, I should actually try to fight Adwale.
Also, Noah.
Hey, what's up?
You know how you had to get up and miss something very important as usual?
Oh, what?
So,
what do you mean?
So Aya's confided in Titania and Ram that she may or may not be a clone of somebody else.
Fuck off. What? X fucking excuse? Okay.
Yes, she did.
Alright. Sure, I'll on with your regularly scheduled program.
You didn't want to go too deep into it because it's very personal.
Yup.
But that's why she could relate to Titania being objectified so much. Because, you
Wait,
know,
clone of
she's
what?
of her older sister.
Okay. Alright.
So she is a Ditto.
I mean... Oh, damn. Yikes, bro.
Yeah, growing up like that might have had some slight psychological effects.
Why is everyone around us a fucking experiment?
Reeve looks away and whistles.
Are you a freak of nature too?
He said nothing so far.
Freak of nature, freak of nature, freak of nature. Freak of
Theoretically,
nature.
yes.
Definitely freak of nature. Freak of nature. Definitely freak of nature. You're a freak of nature. You just exist. I don't know why you exist. Freak of
Timey-wimey.
nature.
Spacey timey.
Fucking hell. Cool.
Meanwhile, Eri, let's do something real quick.
Alright.
So you are...
Roost, 9 dice. I've already done since I think.
Roost is insight plus nature.
Yes. Insight plus nature. Which I have a whopping... Oh, why are my things all over the place? Fuck. Oh my
It
God.
happens every time I reload.
Yeah, every time you reload the board, it just decides, alright, we are going into the void. Goodbye, see you.
I have decided to enact an ultimatum. I will go to everyone's sheet and lock every single fucking one of them.
Yeah,
Actually,
that
that's
might be a good
My
idea.
campaign.
Okay, yeah, that's...
So-
7. Seven to roll. So for 2 days nothing, then I can actually start rolling. Yeah?
You have 7 dice?
I add half my logic, do I not? Or
Not for this.
not for this. Okay, so it's 3 days and then rolling.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So after the first day of training, you start to make up, you start to get the hang of it as they explain there's more to it than just sitting down and taking a siesta.
Oh.
You also need to lose your your typing.
Wacky how that works.
It's because you're on
Rowan
the
has a
ground.
unibrow.
It's in-
No, no he doesn't.
So he's instructing you at this moment. Meanwhile, Marcus has posed a interesting question to Rowan, and he kind of looks like he's trying to be objective about it. And I shall repeat what I last said with him before you had to get up spontaneously.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I suppose that's one way to keep it in the family.
That sounds so bad. For no
You're
reason.
chuckling at it a second time.
It still sounds bad. I'm sorry.
You know what? That's understandable, actually. I was more laughing at the fact that Silas said it twice. As if the first time wasn't comedical enough.
I can see the reasons behind it. I'm still just a little...
I type in reeling.
He kind of blinks. He kind of blinks for a moment. What the fuck am I talking about, actually? What the hell? This is way worse for you than I. Fuck it. Sure, yeah. That works. Besides, I feel better having my hands on those permissions than any other fucker out there.
I type in, you put it best yesterday. If some upstart tried to get me, I would break their spine.
Yeah. Maybe we should remove this as a problem.
That doesn't sound nice.
It's like he's gonna kill Marcus.
You picky, or you never planning to actually use the damn thing?
What do you mean?
He pulls out an Ultra Ball and flips it in his hand, looking at you questioningly.
It works. It just works.
I could get a dive ball or something.
Dive ball.
Nothing fancy for me.
You're probably not planning to make much use of it, huh? You know, unless, you need to disappear for a while and I can shove you in my pocket.
Yeah, that's always
That works.
Especially for somebody as big as
You would love that.
This is a pretty interesting way to sneak you into a movie.
I just hold a finger up to kind of like say, like I type in one condition.
You're the one asking.
Still.
Still.
I said still.
Shoot.
Promise me you won't leave me off at a daycare, so...
He looks at you, blank-faced for a moment, and he just starts losing it.
Yeah.
I type in, glad we agree.
Where the fuck did I come from? With your personality, that's what I'd have to do to get you some action. Man. Those friends of yours must be saying some things around you to make that come up.
In reality, we didn't.
I type in... They still don't know.
What, you had some random Pokemon out up there and approach you and call you a stud or something?
I got kissed against my will.
By a wet noodle.
I type in, fuck it, just get over with.
I'm afraid that you will never hear the end of this. He says as he tosses the ball at you.
I type in one last thing, kill me.
Kill me.
I'll drop the ball in a fire compactor.
Not literally.
Oh, I think I don't have to worry about emotion. Still, though, seriously, where the hell did that come from? You were just like, you walked past daycare at some point and just had a moment of sheer dread, and you haven't been able to drop it?
I'd rather not explain, I type.
Oh. Yeah, with that kind of response, I don't want to know. So, here. He hands you the Pokeball. Never mind.
I flick it lightly.
The same flash happens. Ari, you see a flash in the corner of your eye
Oh.
as things are being explained, and you looked over with Rowan with a Pokeball in his hand, sitting down, looking at it with a kind of conflicted expression.
I'm never gonna let him hear the end of this.
I've already described it once, so... Zer. You end up in that same void. You've been here once already, although you chose to resist last time, as the grid kind of reaches out towards you and starts to bind you.
Can I do the same thing Ari did? Make it
Everyone is
Come
fighting the
on.
ball.
7.
I'm going to do... I'm gonna see if I can do it 3 times.
You're gonna break the ball and cost him like 100, 1,200 Poke. Eri, this has your attention now, most likely, as the ball shakes one time rather than dinging right away. Well, again. And it shakes a second time, which at that point, Rowan starts to frown a little bit. But at this point, Marcus, you feel like you're suddenly losing against it. Marcus, you start losing,
Uh-oh.
even though you're resisting.
Even though I'm just doing this to troll him.
And on the third shake, you can feel your internal energy get suppressed and shackled as the Pokeball dings.
Am I gonna be the only one that doesn't shake even once?
It's a statement.
Yeah, I know.
As Marcus, the world kind of starts to warp and materialize around you as you find yourself standing in sand. As you look out across a vast lake, there's a slight chill in the air, but you hardly even notice it as you look around and find yourself around a temperate forest beach with sand and shells strewn about, with a little cave nearby, and a river feeds into the lake, which stretches out before you. And off in the distance of the lake, there's a little bit of fog on it.
I look around and shrug and
After
attempt to
looking,
leave.
after looking around a moment just to absorb the environment, which is pretty much key to exactly what you are, you can feel the bindings around you loosen a little bit, just like Eri did. And after pushing against it for a little bit, for a second, there is initial resistance, but past a certain threshold, it seems to just give away. After, in the real world, a few moments pass, the ball snaps back open and you rematerialize.
And I have a big grin on my face as I look at Ruin.
He looks slightly uncomfortable. Well, that happened. No takesy backsies.
I open my phone up and say, well, I had to give it a shake just to keep you on your toes.
I was about to break the damn thing.
It's me in it.
Well, if it's broken while you're in it, it just lets you out.
Still.
There are more fail-safes to letting you out safely than there are to actually catching anything with these things.
As it should.
I type in, what's done is done, at least.
Yeah! I officially own my brother. Woo!
Slavery. I mean, catching. Come on.
I type in, this sounds like a really bad isekai anime right now.
Don't fucking say another word. Or type. You know what I mean. Next thing I know, you'll meet a legendary or something.
Already
Nope.
have.
I don't. Yeah.
He puts his face in his hands.
Well, mythical, really, but still.
Oh my god.
I start laughing.
Way ahead of you, bro.
Harry, you saw Marcus get caught. Marcus has not been informed that you've been caught.
So I
Comedy.
type in. Though I warn you, I've seen something interesting.
Oh, really? No. Surely not.
You know how Dad's an agent?
Yes.
I've
I'm
seen another.
surprised you know about that, though, because that was something I found out after you had disappeared.
I have a moment of silence like, eh. My source told me otherwise.
Your source, who would that be?
Let's just say I don't trust him 100% that if I could throw him, I couldn't throw him that far away. Granted, I could break his neck.
Dude, come on. You can say shit.
You remember that ranger I told you about when I first contacted you?
Yes.
It's one of it. It's a Italian who's like really.
So you found out through a ranger's Pokemon?
Yeah, he gathered information for us about our folks.
He kind of narrows his eyes. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Something strange is going on with that. Anyway, you were saying?
Agents apparently can have this like machine that can capture even if you are old.
You mean snag balls? Yes, I've heard about them. I didn't know agents could use them. They're extremely illegal. But now that I think about it, I can see why they might have them.
I witnessed it firsthand when I fought a psychotic LARPer with a like big like black scimitar that's like.
So he used it to take one of the Pokemon of the people hunting you guys?
That nearly sliced open my guts, yes.
That's exactly how I expected them to use it. Although it's certainly the man holding a lot of power. But that hasn't changed since the war.
And then I realize, I type in, you know a mon that has a skull for a face and size for arms?
Kind of thinks for a moment. Let me find out. Skull for a face and scythes for arms.
No legs?
No legs. Ghost
Well-
type.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Those things are wicked.
What are they called?
They're called... Scroll, scroll, scroll. Grimmaku.
I'm going to look that up on my phone.
You find them.
Mainly just information.
You learn that they are part of a split evolution from one Pokemon. You have seen the other form of it. They both derive from one singular Pokemon that evolves under different conditions. It is Dark Ghost, and the other one is Psychic Dark. It's no longer Ghost type. The thing they come from and mainly if they focus on special or physical has a lot to do with which form they take.
I assume sidearms is the physical one.
Yes. You find out that the original form of them, the lower evolved form, commonly comes into being in places around graveyards and sites of battle where a lot of people died. And they are thought to be guardians of the dead. Mainly that they gravitate towards areas with a lot of dead or a lot of spiritual energy, and they kind of claim it as their territory along with others of their kind and chase out people that are poking around there. So they usually beat the shit out of grave robbers. They're noted for being pretty cold and pretty brutal, definitely not nice, but they don't typically leave the area to go deliberately cause harm to other things. They're just extremely territorial. They feed off ambient spiritual energy and sustain themselves, and are capable of fucking something's soul up if they really want to.
I turn my phone over to Ruin and say, point out the picture up, and it's like, I type in, yeah, I fought one of these head on once. Had to run away.
He clenches his teeth. Yikes. It's really hard to get these things to evolve into these things, and they are monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, considering the person who had it was a monster, considering they were willing to blow up entire sections of town to keep their secrets.
Well, you know how only 1 in 1,000 Gyarados naturally evolve? 1 in 1,000 Magikarps evolve into a Gyarados?
I nod.
In the wild? Well, these things are kind of the same deal. There's not a lot of their evolved forms out naturally. A lot of the ones are usually because of a trainer like me getting their hands on them. I think the Ghost Gym Leader has one of them. You see him shiver a little. Rowan.
I'm gonna be right back.
Yeah, that's one of the gyms I haven't exactly challenged yet.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's kind of a next level kind of intimidation tactic when all your Pokemon have been in your family for hundreds of years. And they've outlived all of you. It's like, who's the trainer at that point?
I shrug and say,
I also hear they have this really freaky tradition, too. So, cool facts. The Ghost Gym Leader has always been in the same family, and it's kind of passed down from generation to generation. And they have some really kind of there's rumors of some really occult shit in that family. It's really weird practices, but they know their ghost types.
I
back.
nod and I'm like, anyways, what now?
I don't know. Looks like your friend over there is taking some lessons from Percy. Don't know about your other friends, but We're going to be waiting around for that Eevee of yours, right?
I nod my head about that, yeah.
He narrows his eyes for a minute, thinking back for a sec. That's not yours, right?
I shake my head.
Okay, just double checking.
It could have been.
I type in. We found him when we raided a poacher's outpost in some sort of like ruined town.
You break their knees?
Obviously.
Well, okay, good. Excellent.
And I almost murdered the trainer of the Eevee. Don't worry about it.
And that same guy who probably was in that same place is probably here because I smelled his cheap ass cologne.
What? One of them is here?
I told you yesterday I smelled that same damn cologne. It smells like shit.
Well, maybe I'll look into that. Of course, you're the only one that knows its scent, and you're not exactly subtle.
And to be honest, I don't want to, like, complicate things while, our friend is, under the knife.
Right. So, I don't know. I guess I'm stuck here. I haven't really thought about it either. You kind of being alive and in this situation is kind of messed up my calendar a little.
Can I suggest something?
I need to call my boss before I get fired.
Could you teach me the secret of liquidation?
Liquidation? Yeah. I think I can go find a TM for that. That's doable.
Good.
You guys are learning all kinds of moves, aren't you? I mean, if I could fucking shoot lasers out of my eyes, I'd learn how to do it too.
Believe it or not, I've only learned like one. I've pretty much been just relying on this little quote-unquote knife for my self-defense.
You've got superpowers now, and you're still swinging a sword around? I can swing a sword around. I can swing a hammer around. I cannot create a fireball in my palm of my hand and chuck it at the person I dislike.
But I'm even better at doing it because I'm...
That's cheating.
Besides, being in mystery dungeons, I don't exactly play fair.
You've been in a few dungeons, huh? You have to tell me about that sometime.
Definitely will.
The ones up north are a bit hazardous. So my job is protecting people, not going on misadventures into death zones. So I haven't actually been to the mini up there, and I don't want people in the mini up there. I've been in one or two around, like, here, in fact. But those ones up north are pretty serious.
I nod my head and say, I've only gotten there, going there to go get stronger anyways.
Yeah, well, as good as a sparring partner as they might be, I'd usually not voluntarily fuck with any nuclear type.
Though, that makes me think, if you don't mind me asking, I motion to guy again over there and say, when was the last time you spoke with Dad?
It was... He frowns. Obviously not entirely pleased by the question. I suppose the last time we spoke was after you went missing. We
What-
had a bit of a fight that escalated into a fight between all of us, and we kind of all split away from each other. I've had some time to think about it now. There are some things I wish I could kind of take back, but you vanishing was kind of like the last nail in a coffin for everything that had been fucked up at that point. But before, and I was meaning to go talk to him again, and I just could never work up the nerve. We'd just keep making excuses. Then he disappeared. I lost the chance.
I nod my head and say, well, my source, I don't know if he's buttering me up, but from last what I heard from him, it's kind of implied he was looking for me in some way.
He looks over at you with narrowed eyes. What do you mean? I could never find out what he was doing out there. They keep that agent stuff close to the chest. You're saying that he was looking for you?
My source made it sound like he was.
He knew you were alive?
I don't know.
You see him clench his jaw and stand up. I'm gonna go for a walk. Do you see him walk off?
You fucking broke him.
He looks pissed.
I put my phone back in my bag and when I sigh audibly.
Yep. Percy kind of glances at you, Harry. That didn't look good.
Oh, yeah. Is he, normally that moody?
No, he's angry. He's real angry right now.
No, yeah, that sounds about right. I mean...
I've seen him I've seen him
Things.
rip things heads off in that state.
Okay. Note yourself. Don't piss off Rowan. Got it.
The North
Yeah.
is not an accommodating nor friendly place.
No, I can imagine. It's probably a fucking death trap up there. I feel like I've had enough about it. Sounds like it'd be fun someday when I'm like bud.
Yeah, you might want to wait until you're at least fully evolved.
That's I know. I said when I'm a god.
Don't get ahead of
You know.
yourself.
You know I gotta get ahead of them, don't I?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. See, you get me.
I'm gonna get up for just a second, and then I guess continue with somebody.
I'm just going back inside, thinking,
Whack.
All right then, Ari, Ram, as you're still having your discussions with Aya and Reeve, you see Marcus come back inside, looking a little glum.
Ram is gonna give a worried look at Marcus, and then look at Titania, and then look at Marcus, and then look at Titania, and then look at Marcus.
What? What's going on?
I might have So you remember when what's his face told us, give us that nice little info dump about our people?
Uh-huh. I do
Um,
remember that.
I have a question to pose to the both of you. When
Hmm.
he was talking about my dad, was he trying to butter me up, or was he speaking the truth, or is it just some sick mind game he's playing? Because
He really didn't have to lie to us.
Ram's gonna frown and kind of nod along with Titania, like, I don't know why he would lie.
I don't exactly remember what he said, but I told him about that he was probably looking for me, even though he didn't really say that like explicitly.
Ram is gonna kind of droop his ears. Oh.
And I'm afraid I'll probably give him a bit more of a yeah. He's not taking it too well.
Well, just remember, if he is still looking for you, we are bound to run into him.
I mean, problem is he's kind of MIA, so
Yeah, no.
Ram
We
kind of
were also-
coughs, and he just says, maybe, it seems like Rowan's entire world has been flipped upside down, so maybe give him time, and then try to talk to him again. I think we're just kind of murdering all of these people's worldviews right now, and Ram glances at Aya and Reeve, just... Yeah, I think we're overloading them some.
maybe I should have said that honestly, because I have no clue if I'm getting bullshitted.
I mean, you went missing, right? They didn't have like a confirmed death or anything. He could have. I don't know. I mean, we don't have anything else to back that information up with or deny it with, right?
I mean, agents know lots of things we don't, but still, that makes me want to know what they know. But I don't think they don't give up that information. Tom say good bullshit.
Hestus speaks up. Well, maybe you should go try to talk to them again. Whoever
Nope.
you're talking about.
That's gonna most likely be something to do.
Add it to the quest list.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, how do we, get an agent who's, willing to build our guts?
Well, next time that they ask us to do something, you ask for more info about your dad.
Ram's gonna kind of like scratch his head, like, would Hawthorne know more or have connections to lead us to more answers about that, maybe?
Connection, most likely.
I would like to. That's a good point. I was meaning to check out with Hopper anyways. This is something I need to know.
Well, let us know.
Soul walks up, having overheard a bit of this. Well, don't. Sorry about butting in, but like Hawthorne has said, the rest of us, we were mostly kept inside our own little box. They told us things we should have known and told us who to tell the things we found out, but we were compartmentalized, I guess. I don't know why it's being done that way.
Hawthorne has a lot of connections, though, right? He might be able to...
He's a Pokemon professor, and he's getting a little older, along with the rest of us. Been all over the place. Master Hawthorne knows a lot of people.
That's a start, maybe. Ram looks at Marcus.
Yes, I'm going to look into that right now.
Ram's gonna frown, just watch Marcus leave.
And I'm going to find the professor.
You find him in his lab, sitting back in his chair next to the machine, watching the screens. Marcus, is there something I can do for you?
I nod and I motion for a notebook.
He just kicks a box that slides across the ground that has a whole bunch of notebooks in it with one missing.
I take one and write down. Sorry, my friend took a shitload of them, but
I kind of wish Balin finished his research so this wouldn't have to be so complicated.
there are some, however. Let's get to business. You're a man of connections, and I want to know something.
Oh?
I am aware that you know that. How should I phrase this? How hard would it for you be to get some info on an agent? Especially one that I'm related to.
He narrows his eyes a little. You're related to an agent?
My father's an agent, yeah.
I haven't heard his name before.
I write down his name.
His last name is Viserion, like you, right?
I nod my head, and I do know his name, right? But I can just write.
Yeah, you know your dad's name.
I write down.
He looks at the name and frowns. I'm not familiar with it, and that will have to be a hard maybe. You see, when you're looking into these kinds of things, the advantage and disadvantage of having an AI in charge of it all is that it can actually ask you what you want the information for.
The way I see it is,
So sometimes it'll say yes, sometimes it'll say no.
I mean, if you can do something, I would be grateful. It's just,
I'll try, but no promises.
but I ask because the one other source I have is, if I can be so blunt, is I don't trust him further than I can throw him.
He narrows his eyes.
I'm talking about, of course, Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. That's one of Clint's Pokemon. He's not striking you as the most trustworthy individual?
Frankly, no.
I guess Intellions have that kind of mystique about them. I assure you that if they're telling you something, it was because Clint told them to tell you. And you can trust Clint. Man's pretty straight-laced.
I mean, he was a friend of my father's, but he's kind of like a telephone fact, you know. I heard it from my brother, I heard it from my cousin, who heard it from his grandfather, and on and on and on.
Uh-huh.
I mean, maybe if you asked Clint, you could probably get something better. And just all I want to know is,
Oh,
what was he doing between my disappearance and his disappearance?
I don't know.
That's just what I'm looking for, cause
I'll give Clint a call. Ask about this myself.
that'll probably be best.
Even though I'm not really supposed to do that.
Well, you're doing a lot for us, so which I already appreciate, but
I really need more.
still, it's just
Right. I'll see what I can do.
thank you for understanding. And by the way, would you mind if I kept this notebook for myself?
Yes, please keep it on your person.
I put it in my bag, and
Here's a
Nodded
pin
me.
too for you, a gift.
I take it, and I actually do laugh.
He
And
turns
I-
back to the screen, which you can see has a simplistic rendering of an Eevee on it.
And I'm gonna go back to Ram and Titania.
How did it go? As soon as you appear.
Big maybe,
Well, at least it's a maybe.
definitely, and if I didn't know better, I would just gallop up north and just start searching. But I do not particularly wish to squander this second life I have.
Soul kind of frowns. That and you'd kind of be leaving the rest of your friends behind.
That's why I'm saying I'm not going to do it. That's why I'm saying,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's better. You said it best. It's better if we stay together.
hmm Plus, as I said, if he was looking for you, we have a high chance of finding him while we look for our past.
If he's still searching, I suppose your paths might cross naturally.
Problem is, he kind of disappeared. So
I mean,
Well-
understandable.
Soul kind of tilts their head and looks at you, Marcus, with a look of mild confusion.
like
Well,
he
this.
was on. Oh, let me be specific. He was on some giant thinker, which suddenly just disappeared from this reality.
So this person is connected to you, right?
I nod.
And they might know something about your situation, right?
Or at least get us information, though I don't think we're ready to go anywhere up north, honestly. We don't really have a reason to anyways.
Well, if you know if they're important or might know something, why don't you, instead of leaving off on your own, just go look for them? Why don't you all go? They kind of tilt their head.
Well, I said I wasn't gonna go off by myself. It's just Never mind, I'm not going to dig myself a deeper grave. It's just... I'm a little stressed because... I made Ruin a little angry because I told him something that... I wasn't totally sure of, because... The person who told it to me is someone I don't personally trust. I don't trust.
Right.
And I'm afraid he may do something stupid.
Right. Your brother's an adult. I'm sure they won't do anything arrestable.
I hope not.
All I'm saying is that you got friends. And what are friends for?
Yeah, it's just... In a way, I feel guilty about asking him to go to pretty much the world's biggest death trap. Just for me.
Yeah, I've never been to the north.
Granted, I am actually one of the few main people who, is actually on Xylan. Or was.
Uh-huh.
But for now, I'm not going anywhere. Not while our friend's still under the knife,
Yeah. I'm sure they would be rather distraught if you weren't here when they woke up.
It's
Yup.
just... I feel bad for even think about this.
Thinking about what? This person's important to you, right?
Yeah, it's more the thing about this impulse of just... Never mind, just... I need a... Yeah, I'm just gonna go get another cup of coffee because I'm like...
Stuttering.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ram frowns. Very, very deeply.
And you feel Reeve tap you on the shoulder.
Looks up.
Can we have a moment?
Tilts his head, nods.
He takes you and walks you a little bit away from the others before he turns to you, looks at you seriously. Have you been implying that I should catch you for reals?
Ram makes that noise. Ram just kind of like scratches the back of his head, and then writes down, possibly.
Because, I saw that airy person get captured by Hawthorne for a little while ago. Aya and Titania are apparently negotiating capture rights.
Nods. It's a good deal.
I don't know what that Marcus fellow is planning. Although I didn't understand a word of it, they're obviously a little distraught about something.
Ram stays silent and just frowns again.
And then there's you, giving me these looks.
Ram does an awkward chuckle and writes down, it could be mutually beneficial. I'm still thinking about the deal bargain.
I'm thinking about it too. Because on one hand, I've been kind of planning to get an electric type on the team, And on the other, I didn't exactly intend for it to be a human being, even though you're not a human being anymore. Like, is it right for me to catch you at all? Should I shelf that moral dilemma and just worry for someone else smarter than me to figure it out?
Consensus is important.
No, seriously, I was literally about to write down. Bram's like, you already got my consent, or as long as you ask for consent. Question mark, right?
Yeah. I would hope so.
I mean, Bram's writing down, I'm kind of, I'm a member of this team. I can't go far with you, but if you needed me, I could be there.
No offense, but any of my personal objectives kind of pale in comparison to what you guys are dealing with. I mean, would I like a psychic electric type to help me smash a gym? Yes.
Bram kind of looks interested.
But considering you're figuring out what happened to you and putting the pieces together and finding old friends and family and Pokemon and that's a lot of messy personal stuff. And you're also apparently being hunted by people. It's kind of a different magnitude than my quest to become a Pokemon master.
Bram chuckles like Pokemon Master. This guy. I mean, Bram's gonna write down, let me be honest with you.
I think that's the best way. I think that's the best way to approach this from both sides.
I need help most of the time. There's not a whole lot. Okay, so Bram scratches all that out. Bram writes, it's hard to get moves trained in the wild. It's hard to train in the wild without help.
So you want protection from being technically another person's Pokemon and easier access to resources.
Ram writes, and number 3, possible transport via PC.
Right. Is that it?
Ram scratches his head and writes, it's a lot to think about. Maybe?
Okay, we'll call that a work in progress. Step 2, what would you consider crossing the line? What are your terms and conditions?
Ram kind of looks nervous now, what's crossing the line? Abuse? Question mark? And shows him that?
I have a Mawile on my team that would break me in half like a twig. No. And then my girlfriend would get her hands on me.
Ram nods knowingly. You would lose.
Only because I don't fight back. Because I'm a gentleman.
Yeah, Ram just, yeah. Ram writes down, I don't feel like you're getting anything out of the deal. I feel like I'm taking advantage of you.
Well, I mean, really, when you get down to it, everyone has the right to be a little bit selfish, right?
Ram shrugs, and he just writes down, I try not to be selfish. I haven't even seen my mom yet.
He kind of narrows his eyes at you. Ow? Why? You worried about getting her in trouble?
Ram looks right at Reeve and then writes, like you and Aya, she can't protect herself like you could.
Right. And these people that are hunting you, they don't know who you really are yet.
Ram shrugs. I don't know.
Because if they did, they would already have. She would already be in danger. Because if they want you, and they haven't been successful getting you directly, they would just blackmail you with your mom.
Ram kind of opens his mouth and he's just thinking. You can like see the ellipses over his head forming. Maybe? ... question mark.
Have you checked on her?
Ram thinks back to Marcus and says, somebody said that she was okay, but I haven't been able to make it to the Gadawaki Islands?
Okay.
I think that's the island Ram was on.
Tell you. Damn it. I was going to say that maybe I could look her up, but I'm already probably under the lens. We need someone that they don't know is involved. And I think I have an idea of who that could be.
Ram looks concerned and says, no one else needs to be in danger for me.
That's the point.
Well, I might have a way to keep them out of danger still. I mean, if I wanted to play things completely safe, I would be in a different profession. To be perfectly honest with you.
Ram shrugs. Yeah, that's pretty true.
I mean, out there when you're beyond the edges of the map, it's just you and your Pokemon. If you got a signal, you can call in some emergency help to hopefully pull your ass out of the fire, but usually there's not enough time, or there's so much ambient just shit in the air, like radiation, that doesn't work. So you're on your own out there most of the time.
Ram kind of like face palms. Ram is face palming like, this is why you concern me.
As a wild Pokemon, we have no backup either.
So, like, if you guys go into, like, any human cities, maybe bring, like, me along. I've been to some. Or Rowan, it's his job to be in some. Those places are, I have a feeling that you guys have been... If you've mainly been in the forest to the south of here, on East Enos, you've been in a pretty safe place. Overall. It's one of the remaining, like, forested paradises in the world, really.
That's why we need to test out our metal against metal.
That's why Ram is just thinking back to Thunder, and he's like, you have no idea how safe it is. Thunder, you think back to Thunder, Valor, everyone else in the tribe. He's like, yeah, it's pretty safe over there.
Okay, so how about this? So far your conditions are obvious things.
Oh, luxury ball.
Luxury ball.
I deserve it.
Uh-huh. Sure. Got it. Luxury ball.
Sure.
Whatever takes the edge off, huh?
Ram is filling the deep dark hole in his heart with this luxury ball. Okay, it's fine.
I mean, I could get you a love ball instead if you really need the edge off.
I don't need any help with the breeding program, thank you.
It's not for breeding.
But if it has a heart on it, it's going to give the wrong implication.
You fucking cuck.
Ram doesn't want the damn love ball.
All right, luxury
What you're
ball.
given.
If you're going to be an actual member of my team, as part cover, part just improving, I will be training you like everybody else.
Ram is gonna kind of gulp and kind of slowly nod and just write down, you realize I do mostly support, right? Question mark.
Not anymore.
Yeah, get fucked.
Ram sighs. Well, Dad'll like that, he writes down.
First rule of wilderness survival: be able to take care of your own ass. Second rule: being able to take care of your friend's ass. Because if you can't take care of your own friend's ass, then your friends need to take care of your ass. Which means you're a burden.
Haha.
Yeah, I was yeah. Ram does not like. Did Reeve just say that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Ram is looking at Reeve. Like he writes down, "I'm support medic. So I'm fine to learn attacks." Yeah, that's fine actually. He just
So you
scribbles
were-
it all out and says, "Yeah, that's fine."
So you were a... So what kind of professor were you?
Ram looks sad for a second and then says, "I wanted."
You weren't a professor in gender theory, were you?
Ram does the audible the sigh and writes down, "I was trying to research how Pokemon moves could improve and enrich human lives with illnesses and etc 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 above your understanding likely period."
He narrows his eyes. Uh-huh. Well, I guess you can further your research then, huh, Professor?
Ram just he just kind of floats there. "I'm getting what I deserve." Uh-huh. He nods. "Yep, I can further my research. Yep. It's gonna hurt." Ram just writes, "This is gonna hurt, isn't it?"
No pain, no gain.
Ram,
you already
like-
know, you already
Ram-
know how he trains.
Ram's like, "Oh, sugar. Okay, I need something sugar."
The Ursaring out in the wild isn't going to hold back when it slugs you in the face with Sucker Punch.
That's when I just die.
My-
Yep, no, that's just death. Ram is gonna kind of go over what he can do with Reeve.
All right, as for what I get out of this, I get an electric type on my team, an electric psychic type on my team to do some things I would have liked to do. Second of all, as dangerous as it is, and feel free to hit me with like a pillow later after I'm done explaining. I have a feeling sticking around you guys is going to get me involved in some things that will get me to meet some very interesting people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have that stick around me to go on an adventure kind of aura.
Getting interesting times with us.
And
Ram
I will
chuckles.
admit I am very curious.
Ram just writes down, Have you met a shaman yet?
No, I'd like to.
Well, we are going there on the way back.
And I'm not going to try to catch them.
You can.
I have heard the legends of Shaman Skybreaker.
Good choice. Aya would have missed you.
Third of all, I have a feeling that I might get to learn a bit more about these Pokemon villages. We kind of have a bit of a ban on that kind of stuff. The professors and researchers kind of have a monopoly on keeping an eye on all that. We've all heard of it, but none of us really know too much about it. Mainly because they don't want us coming in to where there's a concentration of Pokemon and fucking everything up, which I can kind of understand. But if I'm sticking with you guys, I could get my toes wet. Not that I want to catch anyone, just I'm curious.
Ram just writes, if you catch anybody, Dad'll murder you.
Now, what if I catch your dad?
Good luck.
Noted.
Ram just writes, good luck.
Noted.
And then writes, you'd have to watch out for Mom then.
And also a Gigantamaxing.
Fourth, I do genuinely want to help. Because you
Ram writes,
seem
I
like
know.
a cool dude that got turned into a Raichu. And honestly, that's really cool in and of itself. If Balin really did this, I kind of want to know a bit about it, you know?
You want to become a Pokemon too?
Well, I want to...
If
He's
I may-
already... He's picking his form for the future.
Is it reversible?
If I may step in, I'm going to take out my notebook and write down when I hear that. Are you sure you want to go to the public school system again?
I never went.
Then welcome to hell.
You never went to school?
I know what the public school.
Oh, so no school. Okay, cool. We can bring you from the bottom back up.
I went to private school.
Yeah.
Ah, rich kid. I see.
When you make that joke, you actually see him clench his jaw a little bit. And you get a sense that that joke was not well received.
Ram's ears go down instantly.
Not exactly. I was part of a program. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, plus what's the
I-
thing to make super soldiers? I don't remember.
Ram just gets real serious and just nods. Okay.
And fifth, you have less an excuse for me to not get involved.
Ram writes down 6. You can call Titania and I if you guys get in trouble.
He looks over at Titania, the altar. Yeah.
And I write down, I can reach you too if needed.
Look, okay, we're not writing a contract here, we're just laying the groundwork.
We would need a lawyer for that.
I don't think you have rights.
True.
Ram like puts his hand to his chest like he's shocked and then just probably not. No.
Well, you do have actually some rights. There are the Pokemon's League's Pokemon laws. which they'll break your ankles if you break them. So
Ram raises his hand and says, writes, I have a question.
yeah.
What gyms have you fought?
Oh, he reaches into his bag. Oh, there goes Discord.
Oh,
I mean, there goes tabletop.
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 Oh, by the way, I'm going to. Marcus will say, by the way, Ram, would you want me to give you this check-out coffee too? It's got like whipped cream, cocoa powder, and like a cinnamon stick in it.
Ram nods vigorously.
I won't go back to the kitchen. I will get him one.
Ram yells, extra sugar, like the entire bag.
Just.
Ram writes on the paper, 7, no diets.
He narrows his eyes at you. That one might have to be debated.
Ram scratches it out and says, unlimited sugar.
I'm going to.
I'll have to look up your particular bio and see how much sugar right you like you're supposed to have, and then we'll talk.
I'm going to rip out a piece of paper from my notepad, write down it real big. It's what he wants, and I'm going to wad it and throw it at Reeve in his face.
Ram
Deflected.
takes a piece of paper over to Aya and points at unlimited sugar.
Because there are like Pokemon like Alcremie, which are physically constituted of sugars.
God, they should not come near Ram. He would be too tempted.
The terror.
The terror.
The terror in their eyes. The constant level of stress that they're always under.
You're gonna get leaked by a Raichu.
I mean, that one lick, they would be gone.
Yep.
A light extinguished. A cursed being. Reeve sighs. If Harry's doing it, if Titania's doing it, we ought to do it too.
Ram writes down peer pressure.
Well, the thing is, they're doing this so they're no longer at risk, right?
Ram nods.
So the whole team kind of has to do it, or else, as long as one of you are at risk, that kind of defeats the point. There needs to be all of you or none of you.
Ram's gonna write down, I choose you, Reeve. I trust you.
Oh man, this is cheesy, but thanks. I'll get that luxury ball.
Ram's visibly like swaying back and forth, just like, yes, I'm gonna be the fanciest ball around.
He nods. He looks over at Aya and just grins at her. How did we get here? She grins back at him by being the best.
Ram looks at Titania. By conning them, I mean... Just kidding. It was an accident the first time.
Titania chuckles at that.
Estes lights me on fire, it's fine.
I'm going to go get some stuff. Oh, I guess we should do this as soon as possible. So I guess I'm going to head over to the mall then. Should I pick up a friend ball too? Yeah. All right, I guess we're doing this.
Ram zooms after Reeve.
I mean, and she kind of speaks up. And really, it's not so different than usual. I mean, they're former humans. I would consider that kind of different. She smiles at him. For you. He opens and closes his mouth. Right. EBay takes another step and sees you hovering next to him. Yeah?
You said
Oh, no, you want to come with me, don't you?
Ram nods. As soon as possible. You said it.
So you're just going to follow me in there and I'm going to catch you in front of everybody?
Ram shakes his head and writes, cinnamon rolls.
I can already see all the fun we're going to have together.
Ram nods.
The thing is gonna be like, remember that there is assholes going around.
Ram nods, looks at Titania and says, that's why I'm going.
Eyes open.
Reeve will start to gather the things to go on a little trip.
Going on a trip.
When you get approached by Soul,
Oh, yeah.
and you were planning on joining our psychic training session when?
Ram looks back and forth like, but danger, training, danger, training. Edwale.
Look, we'll get started when you get back, all right?
Ram looks at Soul and just nods apologetically like, Marcus said he smelled people, the poacher people here.
I'm back, by the way.
Don't trust.
Get up.
Did he break their knees?
No, we didn't find them. We just smelled them.
They kind of grimace.
Exactly.
If I can hear this, I'm going to come back with the coffee Ram wanted and say, write down. I'm not going to write down something, but I'm going to instead draw a picture of a man of the admin and
Reeve will look at the picture. It's pretty rough, but it's not bad either. And he's going to look at it, and then you, and look at it, and look at you. This is a man in a helmet.
I write down Atlas with arrows pointing to him.
They would have to be a real dumb fuck in order to be wearing a patch for Atlas out in the open. But I'll
Also
keep this
write
in
down
mind.
culture. And also write down shitty cologne.
Shitty cologne.
Well, it doesn't matter if I find him first or he finds me. He's going to have a bad day. Come on, Ram. Let's go.
I shrug, but I say to Ram, don't forget your coffee now.
Ram takes the coffee and like devours it. It please tell me this coffee is not too hot.
Ram, you decent. It's fine.
Okay, Ram devours this coffee as quickly as possible.
Is the server back up, by the way, or is it?
All right. I think I will call it here.
Fair.
Bye bye. See ya later, bozo.